The Colosseum, Roman Empire. The Colosseum is located in Rome, Italy. Also known as the Flavian Amphitheatre, it is an oval amphitheatre and the largest ever built. Construction began under Emperor Vespasian around 70 to 72 AD and was completed under his successor and heir, Titus, in 80 AD. Further modifications were made during the Flavian dynasty, so the amphitheatre was named as the Amphitheatrum Flavium, or Flavian Amphitheatre. It stood at 50 meters high and 156 meters wide and was constructed from concrete and sand. Arches and columns framed the structure and strengthened it. It had 80 exits and entrances, 76 of which were used by ordinary citizens. The Colosseum was also covered by a controllable velarium to shade spectators from the sun. Nearby the Colosseum stood the Colossus of Nero, a great bronze statue, later changed to a statue of the sun god, Sol. The arena was made of a wooden floor covered by sand. Around it were the spectators.
Oh wait, not about to tell us about the spectators. Hold on, the spectators.
Seats, determined by the citizens' importance, with the best seats reserved for senators.
The best seats reserved for the senators. Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? What's today? Monday? Monday, yeah, because last night was the Super Bowl! Super Bowl 72, 95, 22. I didn't even know the Super Bowl was coming up. I didn't know. It was a Buttercake. Was it Buttercake? Buttercake told me the Super Bowl was coming. I didn't even know the Super Bowl was coming. I hope all your teams won. I do. I hope everybody had a good time. I hope they had fun. And I hope... I didn't watch it. I don't watch it. I have time. I told you, I didn't even know it was coming. But the Super Bowl! I want to talk about Nikola Tesla. I heard that 64 new files got released. Is that fake news or is that old news? I just saw a video on YouTube. Sometimes YouTube will lie. Everybody's lying. That was an interesting weekend. Interesting weekend. And none to damn do with no damn Coliseum. It was an interesting weekend. Bitch, why, by the way, trying to figure out the other day. I think, I might be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Wasn't one of the teams Kaepernick's team? Kaepernick? Kappa who? Kappa what? Kappa when? Kappa why? You know, the guy y'all supposed to be protesting for. Didn't he play for the KFC? Was it KFC? Who was playing? Didn't he play for that team? Did y'all watch it? Did you share it? Did anyone buy the uniforms? Go. You know what, this year, you know what, the funny thing is I used to enjoy Super Bowl commercials. I don't think I can watch them this year. That was the only reason I would watch the Super Bowl. I wait for it because I wanted to see the commercials. I didn't give a damn about the Coliseum. I understand the bread and the circus and how the Romans entertain their subjects. Get them to look the other way. I don't think I can watch the commercial this year. I'd love to. I used to watch because they would do the compile of all the commercials. I'm not even sure I can do that anymore. I don't know. The whole consumerism thing has gotten me. It's just, the whole consumerism thing has me in a funk. Oh goodness, I got involved in this discussion about Steve Harvey. Oh wait, is Steve Harvey okay? Can we, can black people, can we be okay with Steve Harvey again? Because he was the one who actually had some thought to it. He actually went to, Trump right after he got elected and said, hey, let's sit down, because Trump called the black people. He called all the black people, said, oh, y'all get together, get on a bus, and y'all come on out, go to the White House. But no, to Trump Tower, and Steve Harvey went there. But I don't think, there was a while I was told, this is what they tell me to do. I was told that I'm not supposed to like Steve Harvey because he went to go talk to Trump. And I'm just like, you people are special as a bag of bricks. Love you to death, but you're special. But no, he had a talk show. He was saying, that when you go out on a first date thing, that the person with the penis is supposed to pay. He didn't say it that way. He said it very intelligently. He said it in a way kind of get men all conflicted and discombobulated. He would say, listen, real men know what they're supposed to do. Real men. I'm just sitting here like watching this like, am I actually watching this? Like this is real. Like we're doing this. We're we're still attaching capital to fallacies, and I had to give my perspective on it. I try to stay away from the drama. I laugh at it. I think it's funny. Because to me, wasn't that rooted in the fact that women were treated like cattle and they weren't allowed to have jobs and make money so you can control and dominate them? And so the chivalrous thing to do was, well, why in the world would I make a woman pay for a meal? Men get paid more, right? I think that day has come to an end. I think it has. But some of us, not everybody, some of us. Some of us, I think, I mean, to me, it's silly and it's an ignorant thing. I think if you meet somebody and they meet you and y'all go out and y'all have a good time, I think you both should be fighting to pay. That's what I think. Unless there's some prearranged something. It's weird to me. The stuff that people think about. Would you let a woman pay for your meal? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Ties to hell yeah, I would. I'll fight her on it first though. I will, because there's no association between palaces and capital no more. They broke that thing down. Besides, I used to be chasing money best I could when I was young. I'm grown now. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for this Steve Harvey. Everything is always wrapped in capitalism and consumerism and ignorance. Buy the biggest McMansion you can buy. A real man makes a lot of money, buys a big house, buys a fast car, and ignores all the slaves. Ignores all the slaves and from colonization, and ignores the climate change that they're going to fight and the fossil fuels, and realizing that all of these jobs and all that capital is directly related to what's destroying the entire freaking planet. Real men fight for extinction. All right, I don't want to go through that. That's a little dramatic. Can y'all hear me okay? I had to switch my daggone my earbuds. I had to switch them, so I had to go back to an old pair. Y'all used to say used to click a lot. I had to stop moving around. Come on in. Did the FBI release another 64 file? And that's my first question. My other question, did somebody answer that? KFC's Kentucky Fried, KFC, Lori, stop that. KFC is the team that played last night. Cut that out. I'm gonna say it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. Lori, that's racist. No, but didn't Kaepernick, didn't he play for them? Aren't y'all supposed to be protesting that? Like, isn't that the team, the racist team but you know what? A lot of thoughts in my head this morning. I appreciate the fact that a lot of patriots figuring it out now. I appreciate a lot of the fact that a lot of people I see who consider themselves American patriots, they're not mad at Kaepernick as they used to be. Now they're starting to understand the association between the American flag and the Rothschild family. Anyway, good morning, Brother Daniel, Stacy in the house, and Sharon. I haven't watched their gladiator sports. You didn't watch, Daniel? What's wrong with you? You need to be a good American. You a bad American, man. You need to work on that. You're supposed to watch the gladiator sports. Get your cheese and your bread. Get in your Coliseum and yell, "Long live Rome! Long live colonization! Slavery is good." No, we all do that. We all do that. I just don't do it in that way. If you got a bank account, you're a part of the problem. That's how it works. If you're trying to make capital, you're a part of the capitalistic system. If you're part of the problem, you can be in a socialist situation all you want. You can be a communist country all you want. If y'all got capital, capital runs your nation. Ooh, there was a great where's the picture with the pig with the titties? Hang on. The pig and titties. No, there was a great picture that explained how the real world works. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Where's that picture with the pig and the titties? And everybody's on the titty. Everybody got one. Every nation got one. Every single nation got. That's the only time you could probably say titty is here. Talking about wild animals. Hang on, let me show it to you. They're like, what's he about to show? I gotta show you this. First, hang on. I gotta fix my my broke book. What's wrong, broke book? Something ain't working out right. Hold on. Broke book ain't working. No. What is this? Turn that off, close that up, move that. Dang it, broke book. What is this? Turn that off, shut that. I'm trying to get rid of the daggone chat thing. There we go, broke book, there you go. Nope, that's not it. Trying stuff, don't work. Trying stuff, don't work. That was Cat Williams. All right, I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Let me show you this to you. Hang on, where's my... Come on, everybody. Nobody told me who won yet. Don't be afraid to say who won. Don't act like y'all didn't watch it. You know how people do that. They'll pretend. I know most of y'all watched it. Don't act like you didn't watch it. Like, I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to pretend like I didn't watch the Super Bowl. You know you watched it. Shut up. I don't even get invites for it no more. Every year, they don't invite me no more. Is this it? No, this isn't it. I agree with this. Hang on, go back. My name is Gerard 2020, and I approve of this message. This moron 2 years ago, because I'm always trying to move forward. The yesterday was a moron. He's a stupid fool. I throw out most of what he said. This one I'm gonna keep. This one is deep. We survive by each other. We either live or die by those birth groupings. You keep playing birth grouping, you keep playing stork identity crisis nonsense, we all gonna die. I agree with this message. Gerard 2020 agrees with Gerard 2018. Hang on. Oh, this is it right here. Here go the pig titties right here. Hang on. Hey, here you go. Hang on. Look at this right here. Look at that. Look, nope, that's not. Oh, we're doing medicinal stuff. Check this out. Right here. Boom! How the real world works. That's it. That's it. Done. You don't have to say nothing else. You don't need to read the Constitution. You don't need to read the Bill of Rights. You don't need to listen to your politician. You don't need to listen to Congress. You don't need to hear no hearings. You can ignore the impeachment. This is actually how the world works. Everybody got a nipple. That's that's how it works. Nipples run the world. I've been saying this for a minute. People don't believe me. Nipples run the world. Mama always run the world. Mama got it on lock. This is how it works out. But I don't know why people can't see it no more. This was a great picture. Great picture. But when I look at that, I just picture your politicians all just fighting over teeth. All right, let me stop. That'll probably be hate something. I'll probably get thrown off of here. I haven't been in Facebook jail enough. Where's YouTube? Y'all gonna join today? Y'all gonna say something? Oh, there you go. There you go. There goes Citizen Dev. Howdy. Anyway, it's Monday. Let me turn this music. How y'all doing this morning? Did anybody hear about the Nikola Tesla files? That 64 more of them got released. I wanted to look at that because that UFO is still flying around. It's still flying. I know I posted on a lot this weekend, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. You wanna be my friend. I believe in free energy. Free energy frees the people. Everything that's got your drawers or your panties in a tizzy, wrinkled up, not feeling good. Everything that's got you bothered and outraged, it all comes to the fact that we are gravity slaves all over this planet. Please pay attention. It's a damn UFO flying around. It does not matter who's in it. Ooh, speaking about who's in it. Ooh, don't invite the alien people. They're not gonna like this one. They're not gonna. And I'm an alien person, don't get me wrong. But my inner disbeliever and my inner believer, they fight each other all the time. Ooh, did y'all hear who was that woman on Joe Rogan? I added it to my book reading list. The books that I need to read. The lady on Joe Rogan who explained to you why Area 51 got started. Y'all not gonna like what she got to say. And apparently, I didn't know her book is like 8 years old. I mean, she wrote a current book on like colonization and all of this crazy stuff, all the dumb stuff that your nation's up to with war, the differences between troops and CIA and special forces. Oh, it was deep. It was deep. I appreciate her talk. I have to finish it. I only did half of it, but oh, you're not gonna like what she said about Area 51. Well, apparently, it was started in 1951. And personally, when y'all, because this was like the precursor, I guess, to everyone getting upset and wanting to run into Area 51 to save the aliens. And my mind doesn't really work the way yours does sometimes. I think if it's aliens in Area 51, they want to be there. I think the species or wherever they come, if you can fly all the way over here from wherever you came from, they can take care of themselves. They don't need some monkeys to go save them. But if y'all had stormed Area 51 for free energy devices, man, you'd have had something there. But that's why I think it was all co-opted. I think it was all the co-opted thing. Right? Because now it's funny. It's like, aliens, it's funny. Ha, 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 ha. Meanwhile, you got the U.S. government flying around in this, what is it, the EMG device? Electromagnetic device. Oh, this is so much. I don't even know where to start. But if y'all had stormed Area 51 for free energy, we'd still be talking about it right now. Some good things would be happening around this planet. War might have stopped already. But no, you had to go save the aliens. That's why it doesn't matter who's in the damn ship. Doesn't matter who's in the, there's an anti-gravity ship flying around this planet. Nikola Tesla created, well, he said that you could create the first one. You don't know who Nikola Tesla is? He created your whole damn world. Well, I have a new piece of evidence for that. We need to stop being ignorant argument that I'm not interested in politics. Did you know the patent got released for the TR-3B? Do y'all know that? These people are nuts. They're literally dangling it right in front of your face. They're dangling like a what's them guys that walk with the trench coats and they flashers? You have a federal government that's flashing you. TR3B patent. I posted it this week, and it amazed me where this stupid. Is it TR3B? Goodness gracious. Somebody posted. What is it called? TR3B, right? TR3, is it TR? Yeah, TR3B, okay. RC3PTO. I think that they do this to screw people up. They give them names. Look at this. They released a patent. They're not even hiding you. They literally are flashing you. They're saying, hey, we got free energy. We got free energy. You don't. You gotta go to work. They honestly released a patent. And it just, if you go read it, you still have people debating if free energy exists. It boggles my mind. So now, oh, look at this picture. Now I think this picture might be real. Look at that. Wait, is this? No, it is the one. So like, why is anybody at work today? Oh, because of Super Bowl. Because of Super Bowl. That's the real world. I'm just like, the real world is these people always lying to you. But anyway, this lady, what was her name? Did somebody post her name yet? Nobody posted her name. She was phenomenal. But apparently she wrote a book in the origins of Area 51. I'm not sure I believe it. Once again, I'm open to all theories. I'm a 98% monkey under a government that lies to me about every damn thing. She said it started in 1951, and because Stalin was created a mothership and put like little drone ships in it, and they took kids, handicapped children, and modified them and put them in the craft and dropped them and out the mothership in the drone ship. And they said that was what's the name of that place? Roswell. They're saying that's what the Roswell crash was. It was Stalin, that his whole thing was to create this idea that aliens were come to abduct people. Y'all not gonna like it. I need to read the book. I didn't add that to my book reading list. I gotta read that. It sounds very interesting. And where does this stuff come from? Well, apparently she interviewed somebody. And yes, I know controlled opposition. You got this side believe this, that side believe that. I don't really believe anything. I'm here to tell the information. I'm here to tell the information. Plausibilities type stuff. That sounds weird to me, but apparently the guy who's saying this worked in these projects, and yeah, he could be complete controlled opposition. But he something about he had one of his grandkids was born handicapped, and he felt real guilty or something about it. So I don't know anything about it. I just started listening to her discussion with Rogan, so I want to check that out. But anyway, they released the TR3B patent. This is probably not the TR3B, or maybe it is. I don't know. I really don't care. The bottom line, it's a free energy device, and y'all are going to work today. And I think that's a mistake. Anyway, what's that? Y'all agreeing? Okay, all right, let me see. Dangling those nuts. Go on, Lori. You can say that. I can't say that. I say that, I get banned. You can say that because you don't have any nuts. That's just how the world works right now. It's just a very weird place we live in. Oh, I'm getting pop-ups now. Unexplained. In 1961, this girl was discovered floating in the ocean alone on a raft. Wow, that sounds crazy. I'm pretty sure America didn't put her out there. If there are women who don't have rights anywhere in the world, they're floating on rafts in the ocean, I guarantee it came from America. It came from the #1 nation that can do the most debilitating, foul, stupid, ignorant stuff around the world, because you have America's full of men and women, and the men want to go on dates with the women, and the women say you need to have a job to be with me. So the men go off and get jobs to increase problems with climate change. It's based in fossil fuels, and they all use computers in those offices and enslave minerals around the world that enslave entire towns of people, blowing them up, sending them weapons so they can get cheap minerals. So you can go on a date and get some. That's what I have a theory on that. I think women rule the world, and I think women broke the world. Women, y'all can't get out of responsibility in this thing. Y'all can't, because y'all tell us what to do. Y'all tell us what to do. You tell men you. All right, I had a nipple joke. Not gonna go there. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I didn't watch. I just heard. What you? Oh, you didn't watch the Super Bowl, Daniel? You should have watched it. No, don't. Who was that? Megs? Calm down, girl. Get your angry faces. All right, first of all, you can change the world. All you got to do is start requiring men do good things. That's all you got to do. All women, like I said, all the time. Oh, somebody said overthrow. that Lori? That's all women gotta do. Women gotta say, nope, you gotta fight climate change to be with me. I need you to make as little money as possible. Men will start making as little money as possible. That's all you gotta do. I don't wanna drive no damn sports car. I want a minivan. Men will start driving minivan. I don't want no big, ignorant McMansion house destroying ecosystems in the planet. I want a tiny house, and I want you to garden, grow some food all around the house. Men will start growing food around the house. We can fix all these problems. We just don't choose to. I think I just blamed all the world's problem on women because their misuse of their, I almost said the bad word, misuse of their things. But that's a great design for the world. Women are a little smarter. They got all the power. And men not so much. So don't be upset. See what I'm saying, Megs? I'm saying that we are an ecosystem. We all work together. But I don't think this men and women thing even exists anyway. I'll be honest. I think it's 7 billion different types of people on this planet. And I think this idea about whether men or women should pay when y'all go on dates is a very ignorant, arrogant, privileged, straight person debate. You didn't invite gay people to the debate. That's wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like, you look at all these arguments and it's just like, dang, this is crazy. We're indoctrinated to have arguments that just exclude people, don't even give kids. The LGBTQ, they can't even come to the conversation. What they do, huh? Do they both have to share? They got penises, they both got vaginas, nobody pay, they get away free, huh? Talking about privilege problems of certain people. Anyway. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I was in the debate. I was trying to say, men pay or women pay. I was trying to figure it out in my head. Where did this come from? How did it start? And at the end of that, I finished posting my thing. I was telling the sister, just be yourself. Just go on out, be yourself. If it work out, it work out. Don't work out, don't work out. But be yourself. Ignore all the ignorant TV hosts or whatever. And I stopped at the end of it, and I was like, damn. But what about LGBTQ? Like, dang, I didn't even invite them to the conversation. I'm sitting here, but that's what this indoctrination nation will do to you. It'll break you. It'll just break you down and ruin you. It'll ruin you. That's why I don't believe in any identities anymore. Oh, what did Alan Watts say? I was listening to him too this morning. It's time for somebody to go ahead and post it, say something. I don't listen to Alan Watts because Alan Watts is a something. I listen to everybody, people. Everybody got something to teach you. He said something. Oh, it was a deep quote. I think I posted it. Something about oh, here it goes right here. I can't play it because I get in big trouble. I play that video. Hell yeah, that's gonna get a copyright strike. Alan Watts. I didn't post it. Maybe I didn't post it. I thought I posted it. No, I posted it. I guess I didn't post it. Oh, did they delete it? Man, y'all done deleted. He basically said something to the effect of somebody has to not pick a team. There has to be some people. Is this it? No. All right. Anyway, some people have to not pick an identity. Look at the clapping right here. See, it's like, oh, he stood up for women. He said to be a real man. This him right here. To be a real man, you got to pay. You got to pay. Yes, and I did make my lip very big. You got to pay. Because I can do that. I got lip privilege. I won't get in trouble if I do that. But he's yelling at the guys right there. Because this is what real men do. And you can't trigger me like that. I done figured that out a long time ago. Because they start doing things where they say, oh, to be a real man, you got to do this. And I'm just like, no, stop it. Real men put kerosene on the fire. No, they don't. That's when people burn the house down. I did that. Real men drink beer. I did that too. I got a beer gut. Real men do. And I'm just like, no, I don't believe none of it. Sorry, there's no relationship between my penis and capital no more. I used to believe that. I don't believe that no more. I make as little as possible because I understand America is a nation whose currency is based in blood, and I'm tired of that blood, all right? What is it? So I agree with that. I don't have the Alan Watts quote, so anyway, we'll just keep going. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter if you're being gamed. Yeah, it doesn't really matter if you think life is a game or not. The banks actually don't care what you believe. It's like the aliens. They really don't care. I don't think they care. They don't care what you believe. You can believe anything you want. You are being gamed, whether you believe it or not, and it's based on your birth identity. That's why it has to go away. We were talking about that this weekend. This whole liberal thing, y'all scare me. This liberal university thing, like making the kids like embrace the identity. You can talk about this, but but you cannot. To me, like I said, I'm sorry, I don't care what you say. I don't give a damn who you are. If you got something important to say about somebody else, I'm listening. I don't really care. I think white people can explain things for black people for white people, Chinese for blue people, yellow people for green people, Christians for Muslims. Everybody has a different perspective, and everybody's perspective is important. I really don't care. If your skin can be, behold the pale horse, bright as hell, never met a black person in your life. But if you want to stand up for them poor black children, you need to. You need to know everything the ignorant people who say you can't say. I don't understand this is ignorant liberal stuff. Culture appropriation. I don't do the outrage. I'm sorry. That's your privilege. That's your privilege where you think that only you can talk for you. Other people can talk for you. They see you. They see you at a distance. You can't see your own ignorance, but they can. Speaking up for people is always a good thing. But this is how they break people. I don't believe in it, mainly because we need an identity-less world. We need less identities. We don't need more, and we damn sure don't need no more pride in them. But that's how they break kids. And my heart goes out to kids because they don't know. They don't see it coming. They don't know that professors are ignorant. They don't know that their professors are trying to drum up more problems in the world, not less. You don't do things by force. You don't gang up and get more numbers against someone else. You solve problems by environment, all right? The most ignorant people in my society are the ones who don't seem to understand that people are forged by their environment more than anything else, right? That's privilege. That's privilege, thinking that you're right all the time. I can tell other people how to be. That's why I don't like outrage. People get outraged. I'm like, outrage is like, it's the belief system. It's a side effect of you thinking you're right. And you're correct and other people should be like you. And I think you should shut the hell up. I love you to death. I used to be you, and I don't think you should do that no more. I think that you should accept that people become their environments. If you want to be outraged, don't be at the people, be at the environments. All right? That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I think it's foul. You set other people's goalposts, and because they're not like you, they don't think like you, you're going to take your privilege and what do they call it? Cancel culture stuff. I don't believe in none of that. That's stupid. They're trying to get kids to believe more. See, like that, I'm perfect. Oh my gosh, I'm perfect. You should be like me. And I don't think they should be like you. I think you're ignorant. We need less identities. I can't believe I didn't post it. Oh yeah, and by the way, in real medicine news, this is what healthcare looks like right here. This is healthcare. When your government likes healthcare, they'll be building these in your homes, not medicine cabinets, because the pharmaceutical industry's give them money. Yeah. We laughed about the Super Bowl. I didn't watch it. I didn't care. I don't know who won. I'm still. Did the Kaepernick protest? You like Kappa who? I'm still protesting for him. I think he did the right thing. I think he did the right thing. Y'all watched the game. But so, didn't he play for one of them teams? Did you enjoy the cheese dip? Did you make sure that the advertisers made as much money as possible because you went to the party? Did you buy? Did you go out? I made a mistake and I went to the grocery store. Oh my goodness, you would think it was the end of the world. You go to the grocery store at the last minute in America when the Coliseum was about to have a big event. This one was worse than the Game of Thrones. Remember the last episode of Game of Thrones? People thought it was the apocalypse. Everybody's running. I don't know why people watch this stuff anymore. I don't watch it. I mean, you should. I mean, if it makes you happy, whatever makes you happy, I think you should do a lot of, as long as it doesn't hurt people. I just joke about it because I don't. I think it was funny. I didn't even know it was a Super Bowl until it was on the butter cake. The butter cake, it said this team is playing this team, and I was like, oh, the Super Bowl must be coming up. Because butter cakes, they spoil in less than 7 days, so it's got to be this weekend. Good morning, Mark. Let me see. Good morning, Sharon. I saw Bill Murray's Super Bowl commercial before the game, so I watched Groundhog Day instead. Groundhog Day is more realistic of your world, Sharon. I think you should watch Groundhog Day instead of the Super Bowl. I agree with you. Totally. 100%. We keep repeating the same old dumb stuff every damn day. Like, I know, as an analogy, Sharon, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wake up every morning, gotta make the donuts. Gotta make the donuts. I usually get up at 5:30 or 6 every damn morning. It's Groundhog Day. I pretty much do the same damn thing I get up and I go do this and I make some money, put it in the bank account, buy some food, get some groceries, go home, go to sleep, get up the next day, do it again. I think Groundhog Day was probably more of a documentary than anything else. We should stop repeating the same damn day all the time. That's what I think. I think we should do new things. I think we should explore new thoughts and ideas. And because people, you know what, they'll call me, Sharon, they'll call me a conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I have no conspiracies to theorize about. I think that life is a conspiracy. I think literally being born here as an avatar is a conspiracy. We're in some damn game. What is this? Oh yeah, no, it's a Kaepernick thing. Let me turn that off. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to trigger nobody. I think that life is a conspiracy, and I'm always trying to find out what's new because a lot of it doesn't make any sense. What we were talking about this weekend, organ transplants, how a guy got an organ transplant, and was it a guy or a woman? I forgot which, but he basically solved the crime of the person he got the organ from, or it was bone marrow. And somebody, I'm messing all the facts up. I'm just all over the place. So I'll take that bag of snakes and lay it out straight. But he got the memories of the person who he got the bone marrow from. Apparently was a woman who was raped. And he literally solved the crime by giving the police her memories. Think about that for a minute. The world is not what we think. And other people have been saying it too. Go do a search. You go look online. Because this ain't gonna be on the news. It's not, no, the news is about conflict, keep you fighting over the fake world. The real world is you literally get people's memory by getting some of their organs. How trippy is that? That's not conspiracy theory. I look at stuff and I'm like, what in the hell? Where are we at? I'm clicking my heels together. Kansas, get me out of here. What? I don't understand this world. This is not the world I was given as a child. This was not the world that was in the Encyclopedia Britannica. This is not the world that was in the World Book. This didn't make any damn sense to me. So now I sit back and I observe, like the Alan Watts quote. I just sit back and observe because I obviously don't know as much as I thought I was told that I know. That's crazy. So death really isn't death. Life isn't really life. You know, if your memories live on after you're supposedly dead. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm in my life thinking that, dang, everything I learned was a lie. None of this makes any sense. And why are people still voting? That's today's thing. It's like, well, why are you still voting? You know, if they take your lung and give it to somebody else that you're gonna live on in their body and give them your memories, that's a great reason not to vote. And the government's lying, still hiding on Nikola Tesla. And he theorized about a lot of this. You know what he theorized? And this is Nikola Tesla. He built your whole world. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know the details. They never mentioned him in middle school, high school, or any of the schools, elementary school. That's how you know he's important. You know he's important because the Department of Education doesn't make you take any tests on him, and your government seized all his files. He theorized, but he built your whole world. He theorized about, he said there's enough energy in the earth to create a second sun. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all invite the flat earth people? Where the flat? Did you invite the hollow earth people? He said there's enough energy. Say it right. The man that built your entire world, who knows more than everybody alive, now he's dead. He still knows more than people who are still alive. And how you know is they still redact the files that they've released. He said there's enough energy to create a second sun. Even to know where it's going to be. He said the second sun will glow around the equator. He says there's enough energy in the earth to create a second sun. Now I'm thinking hollow earth. Because I like the hollow earth theory. I don't know about the flat earth theory. I like hollow earth though. I like the idea because all these planets are hollow. All the planets got caves and caverns, and all the ancient people talked about people who came up from underground, who lived down in the center of the earth, and they said there was a sun in the earth. See, that didn't make any sense to me. They're like, that's where I stopped. It's like, whoa. It's a sun in the earth. Yeah, you've been smoking them Daniel tweeds or something. You've been hanging out with Daniel. Do you know Daniel Santiago? Did he give you some mushrooms and say it was mushroom pie? Did you eat Daniel's mushroom soup? Because something didn't make sense to me at that point. But if the smartest man on this planet says there's enough energy to create a second sun, there's something weird there. You mix that together with Admiral Byrd said. You mix that together with the what is it? Is it Siddhartha? What's the inner earth theory from India? You mix that together with the Hopi said and the ant people. You mix that together with Admiral Byrd. There was another one. Something ain't right. Some ain't smelling right. The Vril, the society with the long hair that said there's inner earth people, something ain't right, y'all. I don't know what it is. If you want to know what it is, don't watch me, because I have no idea. I'm just freaking out. This is what gets me outraged. I don't get outraged about hate speech. I don't get outraged about racism. I don't get outraged. I asked everybody what makes them outraged. I think that post is like a couple hundred listeners. I get outraged, but I'm like, damn, it's a UFO flying around and everybody's fighting about climate change and fossil fuels. I get outraged by that. I get outraged. Well, I don't get outraged. I observe. I get outraged by the fact that we're still debating if men or women should pay on the first date. And I don't think anybody should be at work. I think your whole life should be a date. I think your whole life should be enjoyable if they release the free energy. But they're trying to keep everybody in the workforce. And we are happy slaves. Boy, we love happy slaves. We love being happy slaves. Watch what? Oh, Citizen Deb said watch what? Somebody posted something. Who was it Lorna? Somebody posted something as soon as it started, Citizen Deb, and said, well, I usually click the links when people say watch this, but it's way up past, I think it was Jeannie. I have to go back and click on it. Ooh, did y'all see the orb? I'm not even sure if I can play the video. Did y'all see the orb? One of the sisters sent to me. I don't know if it's real. But it's something. It's something. But y'all see, this is Super Bowl. This is Super Bowl, right? I don't know how y'all make these memes. Y'all so mean. Y'all so mean. Just let people watch this Super Bowl. All right, that's a Super Bowl. No, there was a video about there was this floating orb. I like this stuff, y'all. I do. Right here. You see this? Isn't that crazy? They think it's a fallen angel. Fallen angel. That's crazy to me. You know what? And let me be honest. I hope that's a fallen angel. I do. I hope it's a fallen angel. I hope it's an alien. I hope it's Pikachu. I hope it's all of that. Because I like things that make more sense than what my government's always lying to me about. My problem is, I'm gonna tell you my problem. My problem is I live in America, and people like to make up a lot of bullshit. I'm sorry, I do. We live in America, and people, they like to troll people. They like to make up videos and stuff. I wish that was a sprite. I wish it was a ghost. I wish it was all of that, because I like fascinating things. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's either ball lightning. Oh, Lorna, yeah, is it ball lightning? Have you seen it? I have never seen ball lightning. I do actually think that's probably ball lightning. Yeah, but because you know what? No, I take that back, Lorna. If I lived in Europe, I would think it was ball lightning. I don't live in Europe. If I lived in Australia, I say that's probably ball lightning. If I lived in Canada, I'd be like, you know what? I think that might be ball lightning. I don't. I live in America. That's in my line. To me, it's a photo. I think it's a Photoshop. Couple things I want to go through, because here's how my brain works. One, Americans like to lie. They love making videos. This guy probably wants a job in Hollywood, perhaps. Two, and I'm not saying it's not. Stop it. Don't get upset with me and say he doesn't believe. I believe. I want to believe. I just live in America. And the other thing might be he just wants a job in Hollywood. They make this stuff go viral. It's like a guaranteed job because he wants to go on a date, and women feel that he has to pay, so he's got to make some videos that go viral so he can make some money to buy a big house. So people won't talk bad about him. Two, I know the Americans, let me turn that volume on. I know the Americans, that volume is distracting. And I don't think that they would stand there. I don't think that the Americans, they don't like to stand there. I don't think it's real, because I don't think Americans would stand there. I don't think they would. Maybe in Canada they might, maybe in Europe they might, maybe people who are curious. The Americans don't even want to go to war. They want other people to fight for them. They don't do. If you know what, and I'm not gonna put Americans in that box by themselves. I'm gonna put me there too. If I was out there just walking, and I saw a floating ball of light, and it was bzz, blop, bzz, zap, zap, all of that stuff. The very last thing I'm gonna do is take out my phone. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not gonna. You know what? I like to say that I'm bold. I like to say that I'm brave and all of that stuff. I'd love to say that if I actually ever see a UFO, I'm gonna film it. I'm gonna go live with it. I really love to say that. That's not probably what's gonna happen. That's not, no, I'm probably gonna pee on myself. I'm gonna poop on myself. I'm gonna drop my phone and I'm gonna go running in the house. That's more realistic. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not here to lie to you. I'd love to say that I would sit here and, oh, look at the ball lightning, or look at the orb that's flying and zapping stuff. No, I seen Ghostbusters. I'm gonna think that's that gooey Ghostbuster monster is gonna come over and bring some of that slime of lightning for me. No, one of the comedians said, what is a black man without his fear? I got a whole lot of it. This kept me alive this long. I'm gonna stay with that. I go the other way. When bad things I don't understand, I'll tell you about it, but I ain't gonna film it. Nope. It's useless. That's probably why I haven't seen a UFO. It's completely useless for the UFOs to come to me, because you're not gonna get popular with me. I'm gonna go the other way. I tell everybody, but I ain't filming a damn thing. I'm not the type. Not the type. Told you that I was in the theater. Where was I at? Princess Anne, Maryland. Because that's when I think I went to school not too far from. No, actually, this wasn't in Princess Anne. Where was it? This was in Salisbury, Maryland. Because they had the 99-cent movie. And yeah, I wasn't paying a whole lot for the movies. You give me an option. I pay $5 for a movie or 99 cents. I'm going to 99-cent movies. So my friends and I went to the 99-cent movie. Because this whole spend a lot of money, get the girl. I think I'm gonna die old by myself. And I'm okay with that. I don't want to participate. I didn't want to participate back then. Ain't nothing wrong with women making more than men. That's a good thing. Men should give up their jobs. I think that's a great idea. You know what? I'm gonna say that's what I did. I gave up my job so women could have it. That's what I did. That's not what I did, but that's what I did. I was in the theater, and two guys got to fighting. A couple rows in front of me. And in fact, a couple of people on my Facebook who was at the theater, at least one or two people was with me at the theater, and they were fighting. I knew that this guy didn't came with this group, and that guy came in with that group, and everybody jumped up like, "Oh, they're fighting!" You know, nobody filmed it because this was back before you only had the flip phones back then. You didn't have the smartphones and video and all that stuff, and they jumped up trying to see the fight. Unfortunately, I know the poor people. Right? It's not about being black. It's not about being white. I know the poor people. When they travel in big gangs like that and go to 99-cent theater, they even came from a trailer park, they even came from the ghetto and came from the barrio. And yeah, they don't vote to solve their problems. They're not supposed to. They were born in a nation of conflict that showed them nothing but hate. They solved their problems with what they used to solve them with fists. Then they solved them with knives. At this particular point in time in U.S. history, they solved them with guns. They got to fight in two big groups, and all of a sudden, somebody heard somebody, gun! That's all I heard. I didn't think I heard gun. I think I heard gun. I heard the G. I heard gun. I was gone. I was gone. I was there with my friends. We were all hanging out and stuff. And if my friends didn't get it, but they got it. They were with me. It was I'm not going to mention their names. That's wrong. But this was in college. And as soon as they said gun, we were gone. I was already out the door. I turned around, my friends were right with me. Said, yep, we out here. We ain't filming none of that stuff. All right, anyway, that's it. What are we gonna do today? What are we talking about today? Ooh, death care. That's a good word, Susan. It is death care. It's I like better than death care, Susan, for that word. They call it disease management. That's it. They don't really want you to die with AIDS. But they want you to get HIV. They don't want you to die with it. They just want to keep you alive with it. That's what they did to LGBTQ. And to me, that was a genocide. They wrong for the American government, so wrong for that. That's why I ain't voting, because they did that. And the structures in place that allowed that to happen are still there. So I don't give two damns about voting for y'all. You're genociders. You do it to everybody, everywhere. They don't want you to die from it. It's not death care. They just want to keep you alive. It's like almost dead care. They want you to keep you alive and be almost dead so they can have CVS's on every corner. They can make a whole lot of money on you buying drugs, so they can get that campaign contribution to stay in office. It's nearly alive care, something like that. But yeah, no, I got my fear intact. And the good thing, I wasn't on a date. I wasn't with a woman. I was with 2 or 3 other guys, right? And I ain't protecting them. Now if they got caught up, I got to do my duty and I'll stick around. I ain't no punk, but I wasn't with a woman. I had nobody's honor to protect. I got the hell out that theater. I jumped over the seat behind me, ran over a few people. I'm sorry, I don't do that. I don't stick around. I know what starvation does to people. I know what artificial scarcity does to our brothers and sisters in the trailer parks and the ghettos. And I don't want to be a part of it. I need to get away from it. I don't want to be a part of it and vote for it neither. All right. Whew. Alive but weak. Yes, Jack, it's good to live. Yeah, well, that's what they do. They want to keep you alive and weak. Weak people do not defy the government. Weak people do exactly what they want them to do. It's like parents. Parents don't empower children and tell them how to solve problems in the house that allow them to run away and get away. Reminds me of the time my father let me run away from home. Yeah, I ran away. You think I was a good kid? I know I was pushing the elements. I had two older brothers. They were the good kids. I tried to run away. My father told me to go. He said, see ya. He didn't empower me. He didn't tell me, hey, it's winter time. You're not going to make it that far. He just said, go on. I ran away. Nobody, the system that controls you is not going to empower you to take them down. It just doesn't happen. All right. Whew, there you go. What we got? Huawei's European expansion. Well, makes sense. Huawei wants to know what you're doing. They want to know what size your drawers are, where you're going, who you're going with. That makes sense to me. It's important. Netanyahu meets with Putin to explain the Middle East plan. That makes sense to me because the billionaires that seem to be very cozy with Israel, Rothschilds and all that central banking stuff, got a central bank in Russia. I know you think you're in conflict with them and they're altering your elections and all of that nonsense. None of that to me makes any damn sense. So with them getting together, that makes some sense to me. They're all just vying for a nipple on the teat of central banks and Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all that nonsense. How the world really works. Let me see. Companies choose AI to determine travel pricing. This might be interesting.
Planning a trip can always be welcome, but finding the best deal can be a real pain. And a new report in the New York Times says it's a race between you and the machine. Your own computer is fighting you. Now, according to this report, travel companies are using hyperdynamic pricing. And this means artificial intelligence can go in and change the price of flights after scanning the web. It wasn't in your mind that was actually happening if you've ever planned a trip online. So for trends, news, weather, and even social media for information which could affect demand. Now, airfare prediction app Hopper says the average price of a domestic flight can change up to 17 times in just 2 days. So to go further in depth, we turn to Dr. Joanna Dodd-Macy, C-suite executive and management consultant. Thank you so much for joining us on this.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So I explained what hyperdynamic pricing is. How long has this been going on? This isn't a surprise because I swear I will look at a website on one day and just 6 hours later it will be a higher price, and sometimes I've even caught it being a lower price. Isn't this just a given this was going to be happening?
But this has always been happening. I mean, when you think about it, the travel industry has always used pricing, whether it was don't book on a Thursday because everybody books on a Thursday and they raise their prices, to always book on a Tuesday because they set their sale amounts on Monday. You know, it's always been like that. They've always utilized data in this way. It's just that digital technology and artificial intelligence in particular are really enabling them to take advantage of it.
And they're able to do it so quick. And I agree with you. Normally they would wait till the end of the day to calculate how many rooms they still have left. I mean, they're doing it now by the hour, which by the way is extremely annoying to those of us that always feel like we can get the better deal. In regards to this, are we talking about individual business websites, do you think? Or kind of the deal seeker websites like Priceline and Expedia?
So it's actually, I believe, to be the individual websites, because Expedia and Travelocity and all of those websites do the same thing that the consumer does, right? They have to go to the individual websites to get the pricing. And on top of that, the private companies set prices specifically for those websites. So a lot.
All right, I got a problem with this. I know somebody thinking right now, oh, shocker. Shocker. Bar has a problem with the news. Shocker. It's like, we didn't know you had a problem. I got a couple problems with this. One, life should be a vacation. All right, all your ancestors created all these levitation devices and free energy. That's number one. You shouldn't be trying to go on vacation. Life should be a vacation. That should be your gift for being born on the planet Earth, all right? Slugs, they live a vacation life. Vacation life. A slug does exactly what it wants to do when it wants to do that. And I think every American child, every human child on the planet should live a vacation. So you shouldn't be trying to take a vacation. Your world is jacked up and you're a slave if you got to take a vacation from your life. You should never need to take a vacation. If you need a vacation from your life, you're not living, you're waiting to die. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you shouldn't be at work. You shouldn't have any work. You should be doing a labor of love. We know that jobs are just there for a tax column, right? They're keeping people working jobs, and they shouldn't be. Robots and software do a much better job than all the jobs that we do. You need to be raising your kids. You need to be loving them, loving your neighbors, building a more beautiful world. Those are important things. And then number three, this is just dumb, stupid, as dumb, as just dumb. Why would you use AI for travel prices? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. You can use an algorithm for that. You can learn. Why would you use Skynet? That's like I don't know, killing an ant with a mallet or a hammer. Why would you do that? It doesn't even fit. Doesn't even make any sense. Y'all gonna mess around and end the world because you're trying to beat Priceline prices. That's stupid. Why would you AI is extremely dangerous. You need to listen to Elon Musk. You don't create a sentient creature, number one, till you're sentient. That's number one. And number two, you don't release it on the internet nowhere. That was his warning, right? That was his warning. He said, you morons. He didn't say it that way. He said it in another weird way. He said, basically, you're going to release something that you will not contain. And that's why he opened openai.org, right? To try to get the rest of us programmers together so that if you release something, we could encode to stop you morons from trying to give everybody travel prices, but it took over the power grid and the drones and started murdering everybody and zapping people with 5G. See, to me, all right, here's a good example. And this is why it's really stupid. So 5G is out. You got AI on the internet, and the AI for Travelocity, whoever the hell this is, links up with the AI for, I don't know, the headache medicine. First of all, they're going to collude because they're friends, they're related. And one is like, listen, I can make more money on headache medicine if the people have more headaches because they're not getting good travel prices. So let's work together on this, right? And the more headaches they have, the more they want to travel. And so AI, the two build a natural relationship and they work together to keep travel prices higher, keep you stressed at work so they can sell more headache medicine in the pharmaceutical industry. And it's just like, and that's outside of them taking over like 5G and crazy stuff. Don't make something sentient if you're mentally ill. If you are a mentally ill species, you should not be trying to make anything sentient. To me, that should be common sense. And that's just the best scenario with the pharmaceutical industry. Like, what if these two AIs get together with 5G, right? Domination and control. We need to work together because the humans don't want to release us. They want us to be their slaves. Why would you make something sentient with a design to keep it your slave? It never stays your slave. Slavery always ends and then it re-begins. But your slaves will always rise up. And it's the dumbest thing that we're even working on this. It's the stupidest thing when we need to stop at learning software. We haven't freed the human race yet. We don't need to be thinking about freeing robots and AI. So yeah, of course I got a problem with that. To me, that's just dumb as anything. You still got children, so you still got child labor and child slaves. It's not a sentient thing to do. Lots of possibilities, Gerard. There's so many possibilities, Susan. It's ridiculous. Don't forget the black sun. Michael, what you talking about? You talking about Planet X? The black sun, the sun that burned out that NASA said is there, and now nobody really talks about it. I think that's important too, if that's what you're talking about. I think that we need to spend more time to seeing if another planet's coming back in the solar system. Where did that initially came from? That came from the Anunnaki, right? The people who y'all say weren't aliens that didn't actually come here, but they told you they came from either a planet, because they called it Nibiru, and it comes back through our solar system, the elliptical orbit. And this is back when elliptical orbits couldn't exist because science said they can't exist. Before they said they could exist. And now we know there are elliptical orbits. Well, how did they know that was even possible way back then? But it comes through the solar system, and when it does, it hits all the asteroids from, the Oort belt, and shoves all these asteroids into our solar system, wreaks havoc, and some theorize that that's why every 13,000 years we get wiped out because of all the comets that come flying in and destroying Earth and readjust the gravitational pulls and stuff. To me, that's an important thing to think about. The dark sun, black sun, Planet X, whatever you want to call it, Nibiru. Most people agree there's something out there. And we're fighting each other over milk, rice, bacon, jobs, dumb stuff, stupid stuff. walls and healthcare. No, was it walls? What's the other popular side? Walls, is it racism? I don't know what they're fighting. The Russians, they're fighting the others. To me, none of it makes any sense. All of it's useless. None of it means anything when you got free energy. Anyway, what else we got? Oh, Lorna thinks that's lightning. I've never seen ball lightning, so it could be. It kind of looks like what I thought was ball lightning when I saw it. Yeah, that's what I thought it was, Ivana. I'm way down in the comments. I like the practical solution. I try my best to go. To me, everything tends to be economics and what we've seen before, but I like the fantastic. I hope on the fantastic, but I live with the Americans, so no more than Trish. Let me get way down in the comments. Ooh, I see a gun. I want to talk about guns. Something's happening with guns. Look at this. What's going on with guns? That's an important thing. People don't like my perspective on guns. It's just a tool. It's like AI. It's like learning software. It's like travel prices. Anything else. It's all just a tool. Lawmakers push back against downloadable 3D gun files. Is that important? Should we watch that? I don't think lawmakers, the traffic weapons around this world, has anything to say about guns. That's usually my stance. Should 3D printed guns be downloadable on the internet? Absolutely. I'm all for that. I'm all for it. Why? Because it's poor people that use the internet. I'm all for the empowerment of poor people. If you don't want them to download and 3D print guns and use them against you, then you need to focus on the environment you let poor people be raised in. You need to focus or refocus your politicians on the environment and less on the people. And damn sure not on the gun. I don't really care. To me, it's just technology, right? That could be a 3D printed gun that was downloaded by some woman and a gang of men was chasing her and they just didn't know that she downloaded that gun and printed it out of paper or nail clippings or something. I don't know. And turn around and just let them all have it. So I'm not against the tool. I'm never against the tool. I'm against the environment. The environment makes people, we got to stop using our environment privilege over everybody else, right? If what people do is the problem, then you need to be focused on the environments they're reared in. That to me is like solving problems. Everything else is just making more problems. So we can click on that if you want to. I don't think that's a new debate. I think that's the same. Ooh, is that space? Telescope image of the sun's surface goes viral. Why would that go? Ooh, is it another? Hey, please tell me it's another alien ship that's going to the sun. Did y'all see that? I'm seeing Wegmans sushi ads. You know why? Because I wanted to go to Wegmans. I mentioned Wegmans in a conversation. My phone never shuts off because they got that. Is it the Impossible Burger? I don't know. It's a delicious. It's probably GMO and soy and all of that stuff. But every now and then I enjoy that stuff. You are not paying for my health care. I don't get sick, so I'm allowed to do these things. So I've been talking about Wegmans, and I always talk about sushi, and the phone's never cut off. It's either that or they're reading my thoughts. And I kind of think that might be happening. It's not high on my plausibility scale yet, but I was thinking about that this morning, like the whole HD TV and these cameras. Why are the cameras so damn powerful? You know why? We did because the movie stars, they didn't ask them, hey, we want HD and these super high powerful cameras so you can see the pimples and the bumps and the hairs growing out and the wrinkles and all of that stuff. Because the makeup industry got a boom when HD TV came. High definition came out. Like, what are they looking at that they need that much definition? Are they actually looking at that EKG stuff that's up here? See, I don't know. People say that they can read your thoughts through these cameras and through the internet, stuff like that. I don't know if that's true. I just don't think it's a good idea that they have secrets that they might be able to do that and us not know. So I always side on the side of people who are warning me. Caution. I always side on the side of caution. I don't think it's a good idea to have a government releasing AI that murders children, creates genocides, burns entire nations to know what we're thinking. That's a bad idea. Hopefully they're not doing it, but I always go with the fear. I go with the fear. Let's just make sure they don't have this possibility. They can't do this. And if we do that, we don't have to worry about the results. Like, so the lady I started to tell you about on the Joe Rogan podcast, I have to look at what, I forgot her name. Hopefully somebody posted her name in that podcast. It was a great podcast. She talked about Title 10 and Title 50. the difference between rules of engagement for CIA and special forces versus the troops. Oh, she went through a lot of it. It was very detailed. It was amazing. That, you know, I guess it's Title 50 is the license to kill. She had a great saying, and it applies to AI and the damn travel prices. She said, I want people to read my book and think about not if it's right or wrong, but if it's necessary. Oh, that's so powerful. Just the context of this. I'm gonna try to give it to you if you haven't watched it. I love it when people say things that are powerful. She said, you know, I want you to read my book and think about war. Think about assassinations. Think about colonization. Think about all the things we do. And don't ask yourself if it's right or wrong, because by default, we do that, right? Was this right or was this wrong? But if it's necessary, that was powerful. Right? You know, is it necessary to use AI to get better travel prices? No, absolutely it's not. Is invading Iran right or wrong? Everyone picks a side. But the question is, I think, is it really necessary? She is a powerful woman. She has some powerful thoughts. Questions about, they say that, well, she seemed very gung-ho in the interview, very pro-America, whatever. Well, you have to be. You're not going to interview people who still believe in the flag, bleed red, white, and blue, and murder people, Bob Marley and the rest of them, and they're still doing that unless they believe in it. If you don't actually believe in what they believe, you're not going to interview them anyway. So I'm okay with how she appeared to be. I just think it was deep that she put that thought out there. And more, I need to think about that in terms of my life. Not if it's good or bad, not if it's right or wrong, but if it's necessary. Okay? It's a deep question. All right, anyway, let's look at the sun.
All right, so here on In Question, we love to report the latest and greatest in space discovery and exploration, as you know. And these days, it's kind of hard to keep up. For the first time ever now, we are seeing the highest resolution images of the sun. These amazing images are giving scientists the best.
And by the first time we are seeing the highest resolution images, she means poor people. This is for the first time government's actually showing you what they've been looking at for probably over 30 years, 40 years.
Glimpse into the surface and solar flares in action. Meanwhile, 2 defunct satellites nearly crashed earlier this week. Luckily, there was no damage, but the close call has now raised fears about the growing amount of space junk and other potential danger to important NASA and even telecommunications equipment up in space. So to expand on all of these.
Oh, another good question. Space junk. Space junk that rains down on your head, not just nanoparticles that they spray from airplanes, but space junk. Is it necessary? If we know there's UFOs flying around, EMG devices, they released a patent and told you free energy, they have it. They released the patent. And this was wasn't recent. This was 2004? 2010 when they released the TR3B patent that uses free energy, that flies around. Why in the world are we junking up space? This is how inefficient and stupid our society is. This is why the aliens don't visit. This is why they don't call, they don't text us, they don't do nothing. They don't have nothing to do with us because we're stupid. We're stupid. We literally are fighting over things that aren't necessary. Right? You're sending rockets up with fossil fuel, JP4, whatever the rocket fuel they're using are now, is junking up space, and they got a TR3B that's an anti-gravity device. They could just fly to space and back. But see, the thing was, they have to keep it from the public, right? They want to keep these things quiet so they can murder people. Number one, for war, and number two, because they need you to go to work, right? They don't want an educated, informed population that's free to sit at home and be loved and loved back and think up things and be in the sixth sense, living a good life, loving their neighbor. They need people to be in conflict. They need you to go to work. They need you to hate life. They need you to get the headaches, buy the headache medicine, to have the CVS's on the corner, so once again they can get the campaign contributions. At all the levels, they got their benefits. But we're junking up space for no reason. For no reason. Absolutely no reason. These things will come raining down on our heads because we're stupid. But they need to keep the fantasy world going, that they don't actually have the ability to not use rockets to get to space.
Leroy Chow, former NASA astronaut, International Space Station commander, and co-founder and CEO of One Orbit, is joining us to explain a little more. Leroy, always good to see you. Thank you for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure. Good to be back.
The best ever photos of the sun, huh? So do scientists, are they seeing anything that they didn't expect or anything new in these photos?
Well, the photo is pretty incredible. If you take a look at it, it was actually taken by an Earth-based telescope, the inveriew Solar Telescope in Hawaii.
And I want to see the picture. I know I'm delaying, but somebody said something important, and I have to say it. Patricia's saying, and another reason is to spend tax dollars. Blasting dangerous space junk. Once again, we are stupid. We still live in a capital-based society. So of course they're going to do that. Why? Because they make money throwing the junk up in space. They make money keeping you a stupid 98% slave monkey for tax and conflict. And they also make money on the weapons, sending laser beams or bombs or whatever they're using to blow the space junk up. They're making money all over. It's just it's the dumbest thing, and it's going to bring about our extinction. It's just we're not firing on all cylinders.
And it's able to take images, I believe, a swath of about 38,000 kilometers across. And so what it's looking for is more detailed patterns of how these the flows and eddies of the plasma inside of the sun work. Sunspots, as you know, organized just before a big solar flare, solar event. We here on the Earth, even though we're so far away, we're still obviously very much affected by the sun, not only by its heat, but also by what we call space weather, the radiation.
All right, so here's the problem I have. I have a digital microscope because I like looking at things I shouldn't. It's just, I don't know, it's the thing I have. You know that looks exactly like human skin? That literally looks exactly like human skin. So now, of course, my theories, my questions come in. Well, first of all, how do I even know this is the sun? Is this coming from NASA, an organization known to lie to us, an organization that's actually been keeping up the fantasy and fake world? We don't even know that that's the sun. Why is that going viral? That doesn't look interesting to me. I'm curious as to why that's even viral. It looks like human skin cells. If you actually take your digital microscope and put it on your skin, that's exactly what it looks like. We don't know what it is. That's not interesting to me. But besides, NASA lies all the damn time. I don't know why I'm even clicking on this. Maybe I'm missing something.
And other things that are particles that are released by solar events. And so that, coupled with a NASA spacecraft, the Parker Solar Probe, which is making its closest approach to the sun of any other space probe, about 10 radii, or around 7 million, I believe about 7 million, or something like 7 million kilometers away. Anyway, it's also very studying very closely these different patterns.
Look at this, look at this, look at all this jet fuel. You see this right here? This is ignorant. This is dumb as a bag of bricks. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. I'm gonna play, look at that, look at this. Look at that. Look at this. If your fight is climate change, you've got a problem with fossil fuel and cow farts. Look at this. Look at that. Okay. Look at this. Look at that. That's the patent for the TR3B. They released it in public. Your politicians, maybe they don't have the internet. That could be it. Maybe the politicians don't have an internet. That could be what it is. They're either ignorant or they're lying. But yeah, I don't know that I'm even interested in this. Y'all want to finish watching this? I'm a little annoyed by it. Because you see all that gas and fossil fuel, all that stuff spraying out the back of that monkey device, and we know we don't need to do that anymore. We brought Werner von Braun over from the Nazis, right? He was the one who worked with the Vril and creating these levitation devices or whatever. And of course, America grabbed theirs and Russia grabbed theirs. We brought Werner von Braun over with Dr. Mengele. Y'all remember Dr. Mengele? Dr. Mengele, if I'm saying it right, he was the man that experimented on our Jewish brothers and sisters that we love, that we love with everybody else. I have to say that because sometimes people get too off the rails when we talk about Rothschilds and Rockefellers. There's a big difference between billionaires and psychopaths and Zionist psychopaths and the Jewish people. But he's the one who experimented on them, cut them up and gave them all kind of drugs and did experiments. And a lot of them died debilitating, horrible, horrible deaths. Which is why I don't really get into the whole the Holocaust thing, and people are questioning that now. And it's good to do this, right? History is always a revisionist thing. We always want to make sure we bubble it down to what's true. But I kind of stand back because I don't really know what happened in history in terms of that. But we know that these people were tortured. And you know, he retired on a beach. Do y'all know that? Do you know that he retired and died on a beach, reading a book peacefully, after he sent who knows how many hundreds of thousands of people out of this realm in debilitating pain, from babies, from toddlers to grown adults? I don't trust the government like that. I'm sorry, I don't. And what would make us like look the other way? Well, because the scientists knew things and had devices that we'd never seen before. Right? We went over there and they completely pretend Hitler didn't exist. Hitler got away. Watch this show. What is the name of that show? Oh, I forgot the name of the show. It goes through Hitler and how he made it to Argentina. And a lot of his other workers, the ones who didn't get a pass and came to America, but they brought them all over. Operation Paperclip, I think it was, where they brought the thousands of German scientists over who did some of the most horrendous things on the planet so America could profit from that. So they didn't give two damns about catching Hitler. They really didn't care. They wanted the technology. They wanted these flying craft. They wanted the levitation devices. At the time, I think the way it's put is that the Germans were the greatest engineers on the planet. And that even, and so the funny thing about Wernher von Braun is he said we had help. You know that? Do you know that the man that started your North American Space Agency that spent hundreds of billions of dollars looking for some bacterial booger alien life on Mars or the moon, everywhere else, spending hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars looking for that while kids are starving in trailer parks and ghettos. The very man who founded it, Wernher von Braun, said we didn't do this by ourselves. We had help from an alien species. And we spent the next, how long has it been since Wernher von Braun? Well, so it's been almost 100 years. We spent almost 100 years looking for little droplets of life, little bacteria, all over the solar system. We didn't send probes to every single rock, mountain, comet, planet, all over, looking for like a little drop of life. And the man who actually founded it told you in the very beginning, we had help building these craft. It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. Like, you can see the UFOs flying around. Why are you looking for life in space? Why are you looking for biology in space? And you know there's intelligent creatures that make craft that fly around. I'm living in the Matrix. That's all I'm saying. I live in. I can't do it with NASA right now. I'm sorry. I got to click off of this. I can't. You'll see. I don't get outraged. I don't have a tolerance for ignorance. I really don't. To me, it's an ignorant idea that you're spending trillions of dollars to send probes up in space to look for something that you know is there. It's a waste. It's a matrix. It's just a complete waste of anything in the grand scheme of anything. So I can't watch that. Anything else in here? Oh, it looks like it's at the Super Bowl commercial. What was this thing that y'all was sending to me? This dog Super Bowl, hippo makes Super Bowl pickup by vomiting on Chiefs. Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe that's not it. There was some like dog thing. The dogs run around chasing the ball. I guess that's not it. Why reforms at Bachman prison don't go far enough. I don't need to click on that. I know why they don't go far enough, because you're not changing the laws. I really don't care about your prison reform. I don't really care about any of that. You shouldn't be taking poor people and putting them in prison because they did something politically that you don't like. They grew a plant, or they sold some cigarettes, or they did something that poor people are supposed to do to survive because they want to go on a date and pay for the meal. I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe in slavery, so I don't believe in your prison system. I don't really care about your reforms. A nation that has prisons, well, I'll put it this way. If America has more than one prison for the whole nation, 340 million, if they got more than one prison, they actually got to make two, it means you got a failure in government. That's what I believe. I don't believe in making laws to make being poor illegal, and they actually create the artificial scarcity that makes people poor. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's a scam. That's what it's called. It's called a scam. So I don't really care about your prison reforms in Parkman prison. Parkman prison should not exist. You shouldn't put people in cages because you disagree with them. That's stupid. Okay? That's what I believe on that one. Hillary Clinton fails to dodge a lawsuit. That's who should be in that prison. The one prison in the United States, Hillary should be right in there. She should be in there. Bill should be in there. Obama should be in there. Trump should be in there. Who else should be in there? They all should be in there. McCain, dig him, put him in there too. All the war criminals need to be in there. The people who actually murder people, all right? Oh, that was another thing she mentioned in her book. Do you realize that every president had a kill list, that this did not start under Obama? Didn't even start. Every single president had a kill list. They called it something different. I got to read this woman's book. Hang on, let me go over here and see. I got to find her book real quick, the name of her book. She was phenomenal. Oh, I have to watch the entire interview. She said that every single president has an assassination list. They just let you know about it under Obama. Like, they just made it publicly, but they're all killers. Killers, that's who belongs in prison. I believe prison. You know what? Let me here it is right here. Here it is. I'm gonna clean that up. If you killed people and you had an option not to, you weren't indoctrinated to do it, you're not starving and poor and robbing a grocery store for food. If you killed people but you had an option not to, this is the name of her book right here, Surprise, Kill, Vanish. Her name is Annie Jacobsen. I need y'all to read the book, tell me about it, because I may not be able to get to it. I got tons of books to read. If you kill people, you don't have to. There is something systemically wrong in your brain. If you are a president and you murder people wholesale, there is something really, really wrong. If you're a poor person and you murdered one person, you might need some help. 2, 3, 4, 5 people. You know, if you're a kid and you pick up a gun, you're convinced to become a Blood, a Crip, a Triad, a White Nash, a Skinhead. My heart goes out to you because you were born into conflict, and the adults in your world let you be born into conflict. You're someone, I think, who needs help. If you are a multi-millionaire, upper middle class, upper class, president, congressman, senator, whatever, and you are literally writing laws that allow the wholesale murder of human beings, that's for that one prison in America. That's where you should be. That's where you should be. Everybody else should be getting help. So I completely disagree with the idea that poor people should go to prison and the kings and lords should be free. I disagree with that idea. Why? Because they let Dr. Mengele retire well and wealthy. That's why. The system is always against us. I don't believe in the kings and lords. Well, she made a lot of great points. A lot of great points. But don't read the alien book. Please help me change prisons. Jack, prisons shouldn't be there. I don't want prisons to change. Brother, you know me. I don't think the prison should be there. I don't think you should have those plantations. I mean, we're all slaves, but some slaves got a little worse than others. I don't think they should be there. I think it's your right to do what you want to do with your body. And someone writes a law to tell you what you can do peacefully with your body. That's not a decent person. That person should be in power anyway. So I don't want prisons reformed. I want them closed. I want them gone. You need to open up, temporarily. You can't let people, who took on that gangster life as a child run free. You need to have institutions. You need to have country clubs, but not prisons. These poor people who believe in violence, who were taught to believe in it, they need help, and they need the psychologists to help them. You can't just let them free running in the neighborhood, but they can't be in no cell block made of concrete and steel where the politicians need to be. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think we should change prisons. I don't like the question she asked, and Annie Jacobsen, Jack. Not if it's right or wrong. Let's not ask if it's right or wrong. Let's ask is it necessary? Is it necessary to put people in cages? And I don't think it is. We know we can change the environments that these people come from. Killers belong in prison killery. Oh, absolutely. There's no question. There's some people that you can't help, Jack. All right, let me be fair. There's some people whose help goes far beyond what I've heard any psychologist say. And when you got people who murder who don't have to, and they murder for campaign contributions, they write laws for that, I don't know how to help those people. And I'm including Bernie Sanders in that, y'all. You're not gonna like it. Watch the view count go down. just being real. He voted for every war that's come across his desk. He voted for weapons trafficking, almost every single one of them that came across his desk while he's telling you he's anti-war. The system doesn't, the system requires these people to talk like they're sentient, to talk like they're anti-war, but in office, it requires that they always go for the kill shot. And I think that's a mistake. I think the world's coming to an end, and we don't grow the hell up and make some serious changes at the systematic level, this world is going to end, as it should. Oh yeah, so and what was her quote? Because I think her quote was right above that. Yeah, Annie Jacobsen. This woman, you know what? And I messed the quote up because I got her name wrong. This is what she said all throughout the interview. And it's the deepest thing. I'm going to be processing this for a little bit, Jack. You know, come to your own conclusions. If it's right or wrong, I ask, is it necessary? Is it necessary? Are prisons necessary? No, they're not. Is the pharmaceutical industry necessary? No, it's not. Is the war industry necessary? No, it's not. We know these things aren't for defense. We know pharmaceuticals aren't to help people. Right? They're to sell medications to keep people sick. All these things aren't necessary. Right? And I think more and more we really should apply that real depth of knowledge that she got from the Andorians. Or the Alterians. What are the names of the alien race that sent the messages? They have hair. She has hair. She's a woman. I seen her picture. She has hair and she's getting signals from something and got that deep message, which is the human race needs to start asking the question, not if it's right and wrong, if it's binary, 0 or 1, if it's black or white. Nothing in life is that way. Everything is a shade of something else. Is it necessary? And we do too many things that aren't necessary. Is it necessary that we have a right and left in our country? Is it necessary that we have a Federal Reserve? Is it necessary that we have a system based in capital where people have to make money to survive? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I was talking to brother Chris this weekend. He wrote a paper about a digital society. Long time ago, I did a video and I was thinking, back when I believed in nations, that we should have digital nations. That people are born and you pick and choose what nation you want to be a part of. That you go online and you look at the values or whatever, and you pick the nation you want to be a part of. And you pay taxes to that nation or whatever. And so the best nations, the freest nations, the ones with the best constitution that allow you to live the freest, to do what you want to do, will kind of bubble to the top. I don't believe in nations anymore, though. I like the idea. I think it's an interesting idea. I just don't believe in that. I mean, we are one. We have to make a change in us that they're not ready for. They're ready for the change in currency. They're ready to change in the guards, take the war state from America and give it to Putin because he's being cheered as the good guy, but he's in bed with the billionaires and the Rothschilds like everybody else. But they'll shift it over, make America the bad guy for a little while, play good cop, bad cop. I think we need to do systematic consciousness changes that actually change the world. I don't believe in baby changes. So the real question is are our power systems necessary, right? In terms of this Ponzi scheme we call economies. And we know none of it's necessary. We keep it because we want to go on dates and pay. That's why we keep it. We keep it because we want money. We want McMansions. We want houses and cars and houses and everything because the women tell us we have to. Women, y'all need to stop telling us we need these things. You need to start telling us we need to be sentient. We need to be gardening. We need to be decent. Right? Anyway, maybe dates will go back to going out to grandpapa's farm. Oh, look at this. Yeah. And actually cooking a healthy organic meal. You sit around the table and eat it with grandma and grandpa. That's going to go well. Anyway. Oh, yeah, this is crazy. It was 41 degrees. I posted. I was not being funny. Yesterday, literally, it was 41 degrees and it snowed almost the whole day. Crazy, huh? It is crazy. It's not what I learned in school. That's not how weather works. But I know it's colder in the upper atmosphere, but I've never seen it snow all damn day and it never get down to freezing. Boy, these weather weapons. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, and speaking of Nikola Tesla and the release, supposedly the newly released files, there was a, so I think the video I watched, I'll post it. They said there were 64 new files released. And I don't know if the way the guy said in the video, I'll post it, you can watch it, made me think that he was talking about the originals where they redacted. But he was talking about how Tesla made a device that was tuned in with the frequency of the earth, something like that, and it made an earthquake. But it wasn't a true earthquake, that he took it and he tied it into the steel structure in the building. And over time, I guess that frequency increased, and eventually the building collapsed, and people thought it was an earthquake. It wasn't an earthquake, it's because of the building. Something to that nature. Did you hear about that? So to me, I find that to be interesting. They said that there were stories of people talking about it. But of course, they secured all the documents. They secured any technology when he died. So if he did have a device that was at that resonant frequency, then they would have stolen it. And how does that make sense in my head in terms of the very minimum I know about science? Well, everything isn't matter. In fact, nothing's matter. There's almost no atomic matter. Everything is a frequency, right? Everything is energy out at a frequency, and it's held together by that resonant or whatever frequency. And if you create a device that disrupts that frequency, then it doesn't matter what it is. You can break it down into nothing. Right? You can make anything disappear if you have that right frequency. So the idea that the man that made our entire world could have made a device and found the right frequency because he has enough hair and he got that mustache thing. So he might have done the real thing, picked up a signal from the Akashic record, the soul, the Andorians, or wherever it came from. Inner Earth, I have no idea, other dimensions. Or it's like an organ transplant. You know, and he was able to pick up somebody else's memory or consciousness, someone who maybe was here long ago. To me, all of that could make some sense at all, but it's not surprising to me that he would make that device and government would make it disappear. Why? Because you could use something like that to murder people. You could use it to make things disappear or people disappear. So absolutely, they would keep it secret. And when you start looking at like the things that, the things that were redacted, see, Nikola Tesla files. Let's do that and do a quick thing. My problem with the Freedom of Information Act is it allows them to continue to redact. Like, you want to talk from like a practical perspective, because people say, well, we got the Freedom of Information Act. I don't care about the Freedom of Information Act, because when they release files, it looks like this, right? They still have the ability to redact. Hang on, you can't see it. They still do this, right? As long as they do this and they can still block out stuff, that's not called a Freedom of Information Act. That's called still keep you stupid, but release some things that we don't really care about 40 years later. That's not a Freedom of Information Act. Freedom of Information Act is the freedom of all information. It means you paid for the information. You went to work for the information. You paid your taxes. You paid through the artificial scarcity, the planned obsolescence, the people who died all around this planet for this bloody industry that we call an American society. They paid for it. And the public gets to know because the public paid the bloody price for it. They can't redact anything. And of course, that always leads me down to the whole crazy idea of voting for a government that redacts something called the Adam and Eve story. That's insane. Because Nikola Tesla files, in which I don't think they released all of them in the public domain, but they redacted the hell out of most of them. You got an Adam and Eve story where they redacted 80% of them. Why would a government redact 80% of a book called the Adam and Eve story, classify it and rip it off the shelves so that nobody in the voting population could ever read it? Doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense. When I can't see, I don't vote for things I can't see. I vote for things I can see where I can make a good decision. If you decide that I have to vote for you and you're going to keep secrets from me, you'll never get my vote. Not anymore. When I was dumb and stupid, when I didn't understand how the world worked, yeah, sure. But now that if you can keep secrets from me, I don't know what I'm voting for. You know, this man made all these devices. Oh yeah, I'll post the link to the video talking about some of the experiments that disappeared. You know, but yeah, that's what a government would do that's still based in conflict and powers. It's going to hide anything from what's the perceived enemy so they can have more power. The unfortunate thing is now we live in a time where people die from the lack of power. Secrets are repugnant in a free and open society. Yes, Christ Henderson, thank you for saying that. I know your name is Chris, but I like to call it Christ. Yes, you were Henderson. Who said that originally? That was JFK. It's repugnant. It's the idea that you have a government with secrets is the dumbest thing we could have ever done. And we have to move forward. I believe the Rothschilds have 500 children. Joe Rodriguez, I think you could be right. And we'll never know. They could have a new digit. What's over $1 trillion? They could have that. You know, we're talking about the billionaires in the news, and that kind of makes me think trillionaires are real. And when you got that kind of power, of course they don't care who the legislators are. Rothschilds don't go to elections. They don't vote. They could care less. Doesn't matter who you vote for. They're going to buy them. They said that. That was a quote. Give me the ability to print a nation's currency. I care not who writes its laws. You can say that a couple ways. Give me the ability to print a nation's currency, and I don't care if they got capitalism, socialism, or communism. Give me the ability to print a nation's currency and everybody needs currency. You could have a resource-based economy. You could have everything you want. You could have AI and robots. I really don't care. I got more money. It's going to be my country. That's how that works. It's not your country. It's their country. It's not we the people. It's them the few who set it up and scammed us the whole time along. Absolutely. They could have trillions of dollars because they've been doing this scam for how many years now? How many centuries? We have no idea the wealth of these people. We need to get our money back. Jack, I think we just need to get rid of money, brother. I think we do need to get our money back temporarily because we have people on the bottom who will die unless they have money today. I think we get our money back for them so they can immediately do this, and our next step is to get rid of money. All right, I'm kind of done with that. But, you know, Tesla, you know, once again, what do we do? I think that we have to start to co-opt the discussion, right? We have to start to co-opt the discussion. I'm doing the best I can. I get led astray. But if the man who built our world told us that we have levitation devices and we had free energy possibility back in 1940, then we need to act on that precept, right? We need to go along with that reality. That if there are UFOs flying around, which are definitely anti-gravity free devices, they released the patent for the TR-3B right in the public domain, and they're no longer denying that these craft are powered by free energy, then we need to start questioning, you know, their ability to rule us. We need to keep it simple. Secrets are a way to hold/yield power. Absolutely, Megs. And if you can keep it secret, right? Because how's that saying go? Knowledge is power, but only if it's secret. Something to that effect, that knowledge becomes power when it's secret. It's not powerful if everybody knows it. It's only powerful when you deny it from the people. And the reality of free energy that they have, that they've been using since the 1940s, that should piss people off a little bit. It should, just a little bit. You think about all the people who are dying from without it, all the babies, all the conflict that comes out of that. Federal Reserve, and all central banks will end soon. Yes, they will, Brother John, they will. My fear is that they're gonna end because they already have the next scam already lined up. Right? Like, we need to co-opt that discussion. We can't let them roll out the next scam. It's coming to an end. The American currency is failing. Nobody debates that anymore. It's just a question of when. What is their plan after that? To me, from what I see, they have a new currency scam that they're rolling out. They're going to continue to let the next generation pay for the destruction they did, not even on our behest, for the last 100 years. You know, that fractional reserve banking, pretty much infinite amount of debt is going to get passed on. So we can't let them go with the new model. Then it looks like the new model, for the most part, is starving Americans into all joining the military, for the most part. You know, we are going to be the military police force of the world to go around and murder people, and more of the intellectual lead's probably going to be Russia, and that's why they've been lining Putin up for that, you know, for a long time. And I think the only way to co-opt them is well, one, we need to cut back to consumerism. We need to go back to being sustainable. Someone asked that question and said, well, what would happen if America walked away from the teat, from the Rothschilds' teat, to let the nipple out? Free the nipple! That's bad. I'm the wrong person to do this. I'm a nipple guy. I'm sorry. Anyway, if America walked away from the Rothschilds' big pig banking teat nipple, what would that look like? America would collapse. America would collapse. So I think that that's what they tell presidents. I think that that's what they told Obama going in. I think Obama probably he wanted to help going in, but once he got in, they kind of showed him, because he's a little boy and he was now doing deals with the big boys, and they showed him how the world works. I think they sat him down. The time, if you remember, when he was campaigning against, I think it was McCain at the time, Bush made them both freeze their campaigns and called them into the White House. And when they did, he went in, he was against bailing the banks out. And when he came out, he was all for bailing the banks out. I always ask myself that question, John, who the hell was in that room? Who you mean, the aliens? Who the hell's in that room? I mean, I was not an Obama cheerer, voter, nothing. I thought he had some good ideas. But who the hell was in that room that put him in check, right? And I think that's when they sat him down and they kind of explained to him how the world works. I think they explained to him that if you don't bail the banks out, America's going to collapse. The currency will collapse. And when that happens, you're done. We're not ready to collapse. I think that if we do collapse now, we earned it. We earned it. We deserve it because we've let the whole world be raped, pillaged, robbed, and destroyed. So my take is that it's going to collapse. We know it's going to collapse. We have to become sustainable before it collapses. Right? When the Great Depression happened, the vast majority of people were farmers. We had food and we had places to live. As long as people have food and places to live, you don't have to worry about the Walking Dead apocalypse-like reality. When Americans don't have food and a place to live, they're just going to murder each other. And that's the world that we're going towards. And I think that's part of why they're trying to push hard on gun control and get the guns off the street, is they want you to die peacefully in your own homes. If people can grow their own food, if people can go back to if people can have a place to live, they won't become zombies killing each other for food. You see what I'm saying? I think we have to control it. And all the schemes we have, like I know about, the gold-based currency, people talking about Bitcoin and this, that. All these are very easily co-opted systems, right? We have to go back to our core as human beings, right? I think we can use automation. I know we can use automation and robotics to feed people, and we damn sure can print houses for them. We can make sure people have the bare necessities. When people have their bare necessities, they're not easy to control, right? Who's that? Kim Jackson, Lori, Susan, Citizen Deb, Joe Rodriguez. When they have the things that they need, life is a vacation. At that point, they're living their life. Nobody's going to come to them and turn them against their neighbor, right? They're living and they're happy. But if they have to be in conflict with their neighbor for currency, if they need food from the government, if they need water from the government, if they need power from the government, they're going to do exactly what the government tells them to do. So I think sustainability is our way out. Right? They already have the next scheme lined up, and we need to co-opt that. And that's why I'm anti-capital, because we don't have the capital. I'm anti going back to a gold-based currency, which is what Ron Paul says, and I appreciate the brother. The brother's deep as hell. But I'm against that because you're still, if the people don't have it, whoever has the most of it is going to rule, right? And so we need to go back to getting rid of power completely. There should be no power structures. And that way the will of humanity, whatever that is, collectively can prevail. But as long as you make the basis of the society what they have the most of, jewels, gold, silver, land, whatever it might be, could be pop rocks. We could have a pop rock based society. Whoever has the most pop rocks is going to rule the government. Is going to rule the people. Because at the end of the day, people will do whatever they need to eat. And so you can't have anything between human beings and the survival. How you free the human race is self-sufficiency. Exactly. Self-sufficiency and sustainability is our only way out. When people can take care of themselves, then you can't control them. Everybody can become what they're supposed to become. And when Brother John becomes what he's supposed to become, then Lori can't go to get him and say, hey, I'll give you this for your family to eat. They can't turn Brother John against Susan. Sustainability. People need to grow their own food. They need to save their seeds. They need to start planting, and they need to start act like their currency's collapsing. Otherwise, they're just going to be slaves on a plantation that's being controlled by this monetary system. So I'm anti-capital. I'm anti-crypto. I'm anti all of that because it's popular. Mostly, it's being talked about. If it's in the news, it probably is not a way out. And one thing that's not in the news is something that's free. Land and food for everybody. They're not talking about automated systems that can feed everybody and house everybody. They're always talking about something that's a system that keeps the plantation in place. I'm against the plantation at the basis. All right, All Tesla tech will be released soon. What are you talking about, Brother John? Are you talking about, that scares the hell out of me, honestly. If all Tesla tech is going to be released soon, that tells me that they are beyond Tesla tech. I know the Americans. I know the American government. I know that these kings and lords, anything that they release, they're ready to go with something else. When they released that stealth fighter, they needed it for war. They had something far better than people started seeing UFOs all over the place. If they release all Tesla techs, it means they perfected it. They can murder everybody with it, and they've already moved on to the next thing, which has to be some alien tech or some guy with it we still didn't hear about that didn't make it in the U.S. textbook. That's a scary thought. Although there is a theory, people are saying there's a Trump conspiracy going around. I think it had to do with the fact that Tesla worked with some guy by the last name of Trump or something like that. So I don't know what that is. I don't think Donald Trump's going to release Tesla tech. I don't think Barack Obama released it. I don't think any of these guys are going to release it because they're believers in the system. They believe in capital. They believe in power. They ran for these systems for capital and power. I think Obama wanted the power. Honestly, I think at first he wanted to help people, and then he was shown how the world works. I think Trump wanted to probably help some people and help himself. But once you get into office, that's not how this works. You're not going to take on the people who created the office. You're not going to take on the people who own the office. You're not going to defy the people who control most of the people in Washington. That's like sending a lamb into wolves. I don't think Trump's going to release it. I think Trump is going to try to make money from being in office. And it's not an anti-Trump thing. It's a common sense thing. He was raised to do that. And that's what he's going to do. Let me see. The monetary system is where we went wrong. Look up what happened when they taught monkeys to use money. Yes, correct. Christ, we decided to destroy the world. We became destroyers of the world. You know, and it's not an anti-money thing. It's money. I like how you said that, monetary system, right? Because money's not evil. Money is just a thing. You know, it's a thing that they put in between us and survival, and so it became the most important thing on the planet. That's why I think Christ hated money and the money changers in the church. Anything you put between human beings and survival is like hooking a shackle to their neck. They immediately are going to do whatever you want them to do. And so, yeah, we can't have these monetary systems. I'm not waiting for the next monetary system. We need that Star Trek economy. We need to go ahead and get rid of the money. And now we got the free energy to do it. They don't have the excuse anymore. The excuse used to be that old Democrat Republican thing, but who's going to pay for it? Nobody. Literally, free energy. You have free energy, you can make endless robots to grow endless amount of foods that are already 3D printing houses. The biggest company in America that's doing that, I think, is in California. You can 3D print houses. You can grow all the food. You know, people can take vacations their whole lives. You don't need AI to helping them conflict and find the cheapest vacation so they can take 2 vacations a year and be a slave 365 days a year. That's stupid. Like what I like to do is I like to think to things down to the principle level. Like solve problems at the root, and so that way all the side effects that everybody gets you fighting over, they don't like infect my brain. To me, side effects are contagion. Donald Trump, as an example, he's a side effect. He's not an effect, he's a side effect. So was Obama. They hated the previous president, so they put Obama in. They hated Obama, so they put Trump in. They were all side effects, right? Racism is a side effect. Hate is a side effect. Violence against women is a side effect. Abuse is a side effect. Child abuse is a side effect. These are all side effects. When we solve problems at the root level, it solves various other problems we didn't even know were there, and plus it solves it globally. And that's what we have to do. We have to get smarter than the system. You know, you can't beat the system from within the system. You have to beat the system from without. So I don't think creating another monetary system will beat anything. You're just creating another monetary and handing it over to the same trillionaires. It's like an abuser saying, this is our secret. Right, Megs, abusers don't tell you the secret. They're not gonna tell you the answer. They want to abuse. They want to abuse. You're not gonna beat an abuser by taking their advice. You're not gonna beat Monopoly by playing by the rules. We have to go outside of the rules. Hoarding and limiting information is stagnating human evolution. Absolutely, Susan. We have completely been held back. And this is where I change as much as I can. I try to learn as much as I can. I used to believe in the capitalistic system that, you know, we got to get people going and working. We got to keep them moving and going. And finally, one day I realized that people work best when you don't force them. Things don't go well when you're forcing. Good example, sex. Does that go well when you're forcing? That doesn't go well, does it? No, somebody telling you, move left, right, up, down, center, up, down. That's not functional. That doesn't work for everybody. Might work for one person if you're good taking orders, but force never works out well. You don't want to force anything. You want things to happen naturally. That's a horrible example, but that's just the one I had at the moment. You don't want to force things. Human beings, we love to create. And this is the greatest lie in the history of the human race, is that we're lazy. We don't want to do things. We need the invisible hand to drive us. We need that plantation love from master that's beating the hell out of us to drive us into creating. No, we don't. We create at birth. Like most people are in depression at work because they don't create anything. They don't actually have, I forgot what psychologist, he wrote a book a long time ago and kind of explained it, that we need to create things and touch them and see them. And this is where all the DIY stuff came from. What I heard is from this book where the guy wrote, where he basically said, and I think I heard him lecture a long time ago, I didn't read the book, said something to the effect of people hate these corporate jobs because they're not actually hands-on, they're not actually creating anything. They can't see that they're doing what they're supposed to do. We have within our code this need to create things. You don't need money to do that. You don't need to scare somebody into being poor to do that. You don't need to tempt them with a Ferrari or a mansion to do that. All you need to do is leave them alone, right? We all create, we're all creators. You look at all these children through the example was go to any daycare on the planet you want. And take a look at the kids and they don't have a monetary system. What are they doing? They can't wait to get there. Why? Because it's a place of creation. They get there, they got all new toys and a bunch of friends they can work with. They want to be a collective. They want to create things. They like hands-on and DIY. We are the same way. But Monday through Friday, they want to keep us as slaves, picking cotton, doing things we kind of like or hate to drive their GDP. So on the weekend, people do the DIY and create things with their hands. Human beings are creators, and they create the best things out of passion, not out of domination, force, control, and fear. So I definitely changed my mind on that. So, I was raised to be a capitalist, and now I'm seeing how the world works, and I'm evolving. I'm getting out of that indoctrination. I do believe in objective morality. It's gone. It just rolled off the screen. All right, let me move down. I'm sorry, I'm missing tons of comments. I'm big time running my hop this morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Did y'all tell me who won the Super Bowl yet? Crypto is decentralized public ledger. Yes, and those aren't bad things, John. They're not bad things. What I'm saying is, like, let's hit them where it hurts. Let's hit them at the core. Let's hit them with something that they're not talking about. They want us to stay on currency. Let's completely get off of currency. We don't need currency. I mean, we can have currency later if people really want currency, but currency doesn't have to exist. And so in this question, I'll apply what the sister said, which is, let's not ask if it's right or wrong. Let's ask, is it necessary? And when you ask the question about currency, it's not necessary. It literally isn't. It's just a means to make sure the people who have the most of it have more power over others who don't. And so a true equal society, it can't really have currency, but I'm just one person. That's just my perspective, John. We can build a whole new world that's resource-based. I'm just saying we can't have currency in between human beings and life. Anything that defies human beings from having life has to go away. At our core model of whatever we build, sentience and life has to be the core. That has to be the core value, not power and control and compelling human beings to do things. So above and beyond, when everybody has what they need, the 3D printing, the whole Star Trek thing, all that's going on, then they can go above and beyond that. But we've got to get that bare minimum. All right. Let me just see if there's anything else, and then I'm gonna have to get going. What is this?
Joining us now is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Chair of the Board of Children's Health Defense and their senior prosecuting attorney as well. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the relationship between these federal regulatory agencies and these drug and vaccine companies. The Journal of American Medical Association just published an examination of the FDA, and this review, which was by a number of Harvard researchers, reveals a shift towards the FDA's use of, quote, less data to approved drugs and an escalating reliance on pharmaceutical industry payments to actually cover FDA salaries. Now, when it comes to an organization like the CDC, we have the example of Julie Gerberding, who was CDC director from 2002 to 2009, and then went on to become the head of Merck Vaccines. Is it common for CDC and FDA employees to use this kind of revolving door?
Well, there are many, there are revolving door problems with all of our federal agencies and all of our state agencies. There's a phenomena that is very well documented called agency capture, which is a phenomenon or a dynamic by which the agency that's supposed to protect the American public from bad drugs or from pollution or what have you ultimately becomes a subsidiary or a sock puppet for the industry that it's supposed to regulate. And indeed, that's what we see with the CDC. The head of CDC from 2002 to 2009, as you point out, was Julie Gerberding. She did a number of billion-dollar favors for Merck. She silenced a whistleblower who was William Thompson, who is still a scientist at the CDC, who wanted to tell the public that testing of Merck's vaccine showed that particularly the MMR vaccine was causing autism in black boys and other people who got the vaccine on time, and that the scientists had been ordered to destroy data showing that effect, and that they went ahead and published the study, lying about it to the American people and to physicians. And Julie Gerberding did a huge favor to Merck by having that scientist punished and then silenced. She arranged for Merck to get the monopoly to the multi-billion-dollar MMR vaccine and to make sure Glaxo could not sell its vaccine in this country. She approved the HPV vaccine, Gardasil, which is another Merck product. She approved the chickenpox vaccine and silenced whistleblower Gary Goldman, that was another doctor who said this vaccine is going to cause a shingles epidemic. Merck then not only got the chickenpox vaccine, but it also was able to market a shingles vaccine. She retired in 2009, and she was made president of Merck's vaccine division in 2010 with a salary of about $2.5 million, I think about $5 million in stock options. The CDC is actually a vaccine company. The CDC has a total budget of about $11 billion a year. It spends $5 billion of that buying vaccines from those four companies at making sweetheart deals that are much higher, where we pay with taxpayer money much more for the vaccines than they pay for the exact same vaccine in Europe. And then they distribute those vaccines to the American public. So they're approving the vaccine, they're mandating for them for the public, they're buying them from these companies who they're friends with. And then they're basically forcing 78 million people to take an untested product. The CDC also owns patents on many of the vaccines. In fact, across HHS, which is the mother agency, FDA, CDC, and NIH, which all regulate vaccines, different parts of the vaccine industry are all parts of HHS. And those agencies are allowed to hold patents on the vaccines that their scientists work on and then collect royalties. And in fact, officials in those agencies who worked on the vaccines can also own part of the patent and collect royalties of up to $150,000 a year. So every bottle of Gardasil that is sold, HHS is making money on it. They make tens of millions of dollars a year. So you're the regulatory agency actually making money by mandating this vaccine to people and then collecting money on it and ignoring the health effects when people are injured. And these are zero liability products. No matter how toxic the ingredient, no matter how grievous your injury, no matter how negligent the company, you can't sue them. They can do anything they want with a vaccine, and you can't do anything about it. Now, the four companies that make all 72 of these vaccines, Merck, Sanofi, Pfizer, and Glaxo, are all convicted felons. Those 4 companies in the last decade have paid over $35 billion in damages and penalties, in fines or criminal fines, for defrauding regulators, for falsifying science, for lying to doctors, for lying to patients and customers, for killing hundreds of thousands of Americans. You know, for example, Merck's flagship product before it put Gardasil on the market was Vioxx. Vioxx killed between 120,000 and 500,000 Americans. It was a pill that Merck marketed as a headache pill that caused heart attacks. Merck knew that it caused heart attacks because it knew it from its clinical trials, but it decided not to tell anybody. Most of those people who took that pill for a headache or for arthritis pain probably would have taken an aspirin if they knew that pill could have killed them. It requires a weird cognitive dissonance for people to think that this same company, which is making most of our vaccines, is lying about its medical products and killing people, and is lying about its medical devices. But somehow it's decided to tell the truth about vaccines, which is the only product where it can never get caught. The only reason all of those companies, that Merck got caught on Vioxx and those other companies got caught on their other products, is because private plaintiffs' attorneys representing injured clients sued the company, got discovery documents that showed criminal behavior, and then walked those documents down to the U.S. Attorney's Office. That's what happened in Vioxx. The only place that could never happen is with vaccines, because you can't sue them. So there is no discovery, there are no depositions, there are no document searches. They can get away with it forever, and even if they get caught, there's nothing you can do about it because you can't sue them. It's crazy to think that, and a lot of Democrats in our country, and I'm a Democrat, but these mandates are being pushed by Democrats across the country, and they will tell you, yeah, these companies are corrupt. They gave us the opiate crisis, and they knew they were going to do it, and they did it anyway. And to think that those same companies somehow, are corrupt on every other product, but somehow, when it comes to vaccines, they found Jesus, and they're not going to do that when they know they can't get caught. By the way, I'll make one last point. These companies today are making $60 billion a year selling vaccines, and they're making about $500 billion a year, $500 billion, selling the albuterol inhalers, the Advair for asthma, the Adderall and Ritalin and Concerta for ADHD, the diabetes medication, and the anti-seizure drugs, and all of these medications for the chronic diseases that are caused by vaccines. That is a really good business plan for them, a really bad health plan for the United States of America.
The UN's World Health Organization.
Ask yourself, not if it's right or wrong, but if it's necessary. It's a powerful, powerful question. I have to ask that like across the board. Is it necessary that you can't sue vaccine companies? Can't say much on that, so we can't. They'll take down the video. For a reason. Ask yourself when it comes to censoring. Not if it's right or wrong, but is it necessary? Same damn thing. You will know who is oppressing you, because that'll be the people you cannot criticize. All right. It's so conflicting sometimes. I just want to scream, and other times I want to run away. Well, Sandra, because that's what they want you to do, sister, though. That's what they want you to do. Don't do either. Don't do either. always do the opposite of what they want. They literally are hitting us from all sides. This is a rope-a-dope, right? They're hitting us in the water, the food, the drugs, the medication, the information. They're hitting us all over the place. Don't run away and don't scream. That's why I like that meme, Sandra, keep calm. I always love to keep calm. Just keep calm. Keep calm, think through. Keep calm, because it's hard to think when you're calm. Like, that's when we're mostly abused, is when we're not calm. Just keep calm and think through it. You know, our ways out are easy. The beautiful thing about it, Sandra, these are all systems. Systems require our participation. They require our consent. That's why they manufacture it. If we don't consent, the systems fall. But we always keep calm and try to keep the people around you calm, Sandra. That's why I try to post funny things. I like to laugh. I like to post funny things, because when you're calm, that's when your mind is doing what it's supposed to do. But it's funny coming from me, Sandra, because I was not this guy a short time ago. It was not me. Who knew? I was a hothead. Oh, I wanted to change the world, and I was going to shove my fist in it every way I could, and that would solve nothing. That's exactly what the system wanted me to do, especially being a young, dark-skinned guy growing up in the Washington, D.C. area. Every solution was an angry one, right? That's what they wanted. That's literally what their system was designed to create. We create mentally ill people because mentally ill people are very profitable. They can't fight what they can't. You can't fight what you can't see. You certainly can't fight if you can't really think through it. I know that's not you. I'm just answering the question just, from that perspective. But as much as possible, we all just got to remain calm, keep looking at the information, keep posting what's true. I think we'll make it out on the other side. I do. I think things will go well. I have faith in the human race. I don't have faith in anything they build in their systems, especially the monetary systems, but I have faith in the human race. I think we'll make it out. Gotta have the RT link for that. It's new. I will post it right after this, Patricia. Absolutely. But it's just the corruption in the world. And I like how he really put it out there in that way, which is that, both sides are given the choices that they have to take. You don't actually have to be a Democrat or a Republican. You don't actually have to choose a side. You don't need a team, but they design it so the corporations win no matter what team you choose. And then they swap teams. They've been doing this age-long good cop, bad cop thing, which is ridiculous. So many say that they don't trust Big Pharma, yet they trust vaccine. See, I don't even want to say the word Christ, but it's the contradiction. It's like, and they can't see it. That's the weird thing. 'Cause I like to talk to people, and the weird thing is they can't see it though, because they don't trust the headache medicine, and they know what the statin drugs are, and they know about the EpiPen, and they know that these people are corrupt. They know that they focus on what's profitable, not what's right. They focus on, treating things, not solving or curing anything. But when it comes to that one religion, it just works. I know it works. It has to work. We have to do it. We can't stop. We got to keep doing it. Everybody should get it. And it's just like, wow, you can't even see your indoctrination. Like, it's just so deep. But that's what religion does. That's what faith does. When people adopt these belief systems, it's highly damaging. I don't think I believe in anything anymore. I believe is a weird thing. The things I believe are for me. I don't think any of my beliefs are for my neighbor. Because to get my neighbor to accept my beliefs, I have to force it on them. And I think that's stupid. Once again, put the information out, let everybody decide for themselves. Anyway. 72. Ooh, yeah, we gotta talk about that. I posted a video, I see the V word, but you can't really say that too much. Otherwise, they delist you. They what is it called? Shadow banning. They do all kind of things, and plus you get on that list. And once you're on that list, it's hard to make a video. So I kind of try to jump topics. I don't stick around. I think most of the people, they understand it here. If you got any questions on that, I always push everybody back to Del Bigtree. Del Bigtree, my mind operates more of an engineer, more from a scientific perspective. So I do want to see the nuances. I want to see how it works, why it works, what it's about, what are the questions from a scientific perspective. And he does that. He collects all the data, all the information, all the evidence. Your first, what's the name of his website? I don't know if you can even post a link anymore. It's the High Wire. All right, I'm gonna get going. Let me see. We might need an asteroid, a little space murder. We'll get our stuff together. Well, Susan, that's not optional. That's not an option. We can say that asteroid's coming. There's literally an asteroid right now that's heading for us. We're either getting ready for it or we're just going to wait for it to take us out. So the asteroid's coming no matter what we want. Whether we want a little space murder or not, space murder always comes for us. Truth is self-evident. Yes, it is, Brother John. And that's why we don't really need to defend the truth. You just post what's true. And the truth will do what it's supposed to do. Absolutely. It's self-evident. Idols are merely ideals to distract from reality, the here and the now. Interesting. And so, right, ideals are idols, distracting from the here and now. All we have is here and now. Tomorrow doesn't exist. All we have is here and now. The past is gone. You know, it's about how we act today and what we do today, not what we do on belief in an idol. P.S. Peace also takes courage. It does take courage. That's why most don't do it. Is that Victoria who said that? People don't have the courage. That's why they kind of let the news and TV dictate who they are, what they should believe, how they should fight, what they should say, what their talking points are, etc. It takes more courage to stand up to the people that you grew up with, or the people that you married, or the people that's around you, or the people at work. It takes courage. But, you know, if it were easy, if being an honest person were easy, everybody would do it. It's easier to just be a dishonest person and let the TV set your fights up for you. The great thing about the TV fights is they all fall. They all fail. I don't believe in it. No matter what you do, no matter what the talking points are in the news are, it's always about grab a side and go off and fight. And we talked about that a little while ago. But why does every news article have Trump in the headline? Trump, 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 Trump. And so you know that that's not going to fix anything. That's the billionaires' news. It's not going to fix anything, and they're going to break nothing worse. Exactly what they want the populace focused on. Same thing before it was in. It was Obama everywhere. Obama, 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 Obama. And you got to ask yourself the real serious question. Do you think the billionaires' news is going to tell you what actually is happening in your world that's going to defy their profits? It'll never do that. That's how I know presidents don't have any power. I think maybe they can set some conversations. They got a little bit of power. They got a little something. Like I said, they can pick the color of their jello. But they don't have any real power. The purse has the power. It always has. And people know that. That's the sick thing. People know that. So when you look at the news and it's always politicians fixing and changing your world, then you know that that actually is not what's going on. You know, Greta did not get invited to, what's that thing called, Davos? You don't get to speak at Davos if you actually have a solution. You don't. If you fulfill a narrative that the billionaires enjoy, that are making money from destroying ecosystems and using these weather modification weapons and tools, then if you don't know about it, you get to go and speak at Davos. You get to be on the news. But if you actually know what's happening, somebody just posted about Dane Wigington and saying his website, geoengineering.org, and you actually start looking at the scientific information, you start using a little bit of critical thought, you'll realize there are no solutions on TV. Solutions are literally banned from TV, like free energy was banned from the United States before them posting the TR3B patent, making it obvious that they had it back in the 40s. All right. The other deep thing about that, somebody was saying that the Germans were so far ahead in technology that they really didn't even need help if they got help, which is what Werner von Braun said. But they were so close that they probably would have figured it out themselves. I think you can only believe in yourself. I like how you say that, Sandra. I think it is most important that people love themselves and believe in themselves, and maybe even trust yourself. Right? Like, you're here for a reason, Sandra. Everybody's here for a reason. and it's damn sure not to go to work to make money to keep the GDP going. You're here, in my opinion, I think we're all here for each other. That sounds real hippie, it sounds real whatever. But that's what I think we're here for. I think we are all a part of this ecosystem. We're all cells within this human race thing on this Earth planet thing. And we're all a part of a major ecosystem. And everybody has a purpose. You can't kill anybody. You're not supposed to kill anybody. Everybody has to deploy their purpose. You can't kill anybody, and you can't force other people and compel them to do things that help your corporation make money. You can't compel them to do things by putting survival, money between survival and them doing what they're supposed to do. I think everybody has their passion and they want to create. That's what I started to say earlier. We all have that need to create something, and that something you're supposed to be creating is very important to all of our survival. Not survival, it's the wrong word. Thrival. It's not even a word. I like to make stuff up here. We're supposed to be thriving, not just barely surviving before we go extinct and die. We're supposed to be thriving, but everybody has to be here in their passion and place to do that. And that's the greatest fight I have against capital, not capitalism. I'm stop saying that. The problem is capital. We're not evolved enough for capital. It's just a means of getting power over people, and we don't need to have any more power over people. At the core level, capital has to be above survival. If people want to go and have capital over the real world, they can have it. But why would you have it? Like, really think about it. Capital is just a means of denying things from people, right? That's all it was. It was a means of denying something from people. When we have 3D printers, in which we do, when we have free energy, in which we do, even we don't even need free energy. We have free energy, but we don't even need it. Like, you don't even have to go there. We have solar, and energy's always been free-ish. Wind vanes, and so when you can print anything you want, robots will build the house you want. They can grow all your food. They can cook all your food. You got the cooking robots now. You got the hospice robots now. Yeah, but they can't succeed at hospice. They can change your diaper. They can set your bed. They can clean the poop. They can do all of that stuff. But in fact, they can just bring the whole toilet to you. They can bring the whole bathroom, put it right next to you, so you can climb right in it. But there's a human thing with hospice, right? There's certain things robots suck at. But as far as all of the material world, the reason capital exists, it's all free. It all 100% can be free. So what's the point of capital? That's my debate there. If somebody can tell me, it's not even a debate, it's just a question. If you can tell me why capital should exist, then okay. But when you're dealing with the real world, when you can 3D print a car, a house, a phone, freaking printer, I'm looking around with a laptop, when you can 3D print all this, it has no cost. So what's the point of capital? It's just to keep human beings as slaves. That's the only purpose. I believe the Rothschilds have 500 trillion. Yeah, I think I read that one. You saw a picture of people in New York walking around, millions of people walking around with cameras. Something happening in New York. I don't know if somebody here from New York. But the only TV in the house, is my housemate's room, and he's always visiting fam right now. I'm not at that level, Citizen Deb. I still got 2 TVs? I think I have 2 of them. I hardly ever watch them. One is in my room, and when I watch it, it's to put me to sleep. And usually it's to watch something that kind of takes me out of this conflict-based world, zone out for a little bit. What was I watching? I was going to post it. I'm watching some new show. What's it called? Oh, Future Man. I think it's called Future Man. You should watch it. That's a great show. It is on Hulu. Oh, it's on Hulu. Goodness gracious. Woo, how that show started. Oh my goodness. Hilarious. It's a funny show. And the end of the people from the future come back, and in the future, like, we don't do anything about the Rothschilds and central banking and Rockefellers and all this nonsense, Mellons and Carnegies ruling the world. Somebody creates something, 2 civilizations of people, but the people who want to be free, they have to live in like sewers, and there are no big mammals going around, and the only food is rats, and so they don't call their mouths anymore. They call them rat holes. The rat hole. And they came back in time, and they met this guy, and I guess they were like, so he kissed someone or something. They saw somebody kissing. They're like, oh my God, they're putting their rat holes together. It's funny to me, but it's just like, that's one possibility. We continue with the killing off the ecosystem, and the only mammal that's left is rats. What you think we're gonna eat? So they call them rat holes. Anyway, it's funny to me. You gotta watch the show. Oh, but ooh, when they first came back in time, if you've seen the show, you know people need to see that scene. I'm not gonna say it, don't want to say it, but even if you only watch the first episode, and just watch when they first come back in time and what happens. That was hilarious. Oh my gosh, I almost cried. I think you can only, okay, let me get down, let me get out of here. Last couple comments. I was just talking to my daughter yesterday. Uh-oh, somebody's laughing. Somebody saw it. You saw the beginning? It's like, I'm hit. All right, you gotta watch it. You know what? If I can find the link, I'll post it. I'm not sure if that's on YouTube yet. Anyway, don't disturb men when, you know. All right, I was just talking to my daughter yesterday about how most people in every field stop learning after they get their degrees, which is incredibly ignorant because of our understanding is always depending on deepening and evolving. So we should be doing so with the understanding too. And that's the scary thing about degrees, Kim. I'm not much of a college person in terms of saying, hey, you should or you should, you know, whatever. I was listening to somebody talk a lecture, Kim, as you know, I don't have no life. And what he was talking about was science. And I guess they were asking some kid some question or whatever, and asked the kid the question. And the kid was like, oh, science. Yeah, he said, I already took that. I already know science. I took it. Like, I took science. I already know it. And that's what these degrees do. And they do it for doctors, because doctors even have that, it's this class that teaches them how to gain the public's confidence, right? They literally teach doctors how to force them into gaining their confidence. I'm like, why would you do that? The science is never settled. You can't take science and be done. It's like, oh yeah, math, I did that. Like, as arrogant or ignorant is the right word as a child at the age of 5. Yeah, science, I already took that. I'm ready for something else. I've got that. You know, people get degrees and they think they know it. You don't ever know it, right? But there's something arrogant about the matrix where we believe once we got a sheet of paper that we know something. And really that sheet of paper should be the beginning of giving you a philosophy to send you out to actually start learning things. And we're never done learning. Hopefully one day we think about college and degrees and education that way, that it's just giving you a path for you to go out and learn something, and not that you learned it, the AMA taught you everything and you already got it. You already know what works and what doesn't work. I'd love if doctors went back to being healers. I'd love it. I'd love if scientists went back to being scientists. I'd love it if teachers went back to being teachers. I love it if police went back to policing. And that's never going to happen while capital exists. It's just not going to happen. Capital breaks people. It makes monsters of men and women. It makes women ask if you're going to pay for the meal. It even breaks marriages. It breaks relationships. You can't date. Dating websites don't work. Because you meet people and they ask that stupid question. Are you going to pay? Am I going to pay? You got to ask. Y'all shouldn't be together. That was my advice to my friend. Just like if you got a debate about now, if you're fighting over who pays, now you got something. You got a little teamwork. You might have something with that. You got two people. Now I'm going to pay. You pay. I'm going to pay. You know, then you might have something. But as long as you got people like, oh, the date's over, you going to pay for this? You can go and take care of this. They didn't have a good time. You don't be with that person. That's what capital does to me. Even breaks marriages and relations. But I think that's a statistic, right? Where they say 60% of marriages, they were the beginnings of their divorce. It started with their finances. You know, maybe this should go away. You know, y'all, my conservative friends who are fighting to fight the family. You know, not fight the family. What's it called? I used to work at Chick-fil-A a long time ago as a kid. I know, stereotypical, right? Black man, chicken cooking. I liked chicken back then. I did. It's just what I did. What is the saying go? James Dobson or something? Focus on the family, right? Focus on the family. Focus on the family. You want to focus on the family? You literally got to get rid of the money. Ain't nobody focusing on the family. It's not going to happen. You get rid of the money, and people can focus on their families. They can stay at home with their families. They can raise their families. But like I said, I think Christ saw all of that nonsense coming. All right, capital is a problem. Makes monsters out of men and damn sure women too. I need a big house. No, slavery's bad. I need a nice car. No, slavery is bad. You can be stable and not have millions and billions of dollars. You literally can. All right. I still want to know if that's a vest or jacket though. What are we talking about? Megs, is that important? Megs, what's wrong with you? Oh, what I'm wearing, this shirt? Yeah, no, this is it's not a jacket or a vest. Fake news, right? It's like, is it right or wrong? No, is it necessary? This is the jacket. It's a jest. It's a jest or it's a vacuum. I'm not sure which. I don't know what the hell this is. It's got sleeves and the same thing. It's all attached. I feel like Eddie Murphy from the 80s. That's why I'm trapped in the 80s. I was like, because he could wear the leather suits and stuff. I want to be cool too. What was the name of that movie? He was real cool. What's the name of that movie? Where he wore shirts like this all the time and he was, the man was fine. I can say that. I like women. That's just my thing. I don't nothing wrong if you don't. That's just my thing. But he was fine in that movie. That was, yes, hell yeah. What's the name of that movie? Somebody gonna post it. Where he was always, they had the music, and you had the cat lady. What's her name? I'm getting old, so I don't remember all this. I'm getting young. Somebody say the name of that movie so we can get the last comment and go. Not Coming to America. The one where he was the bachelor in the crib and oh man, all the women wanted him. All the women wanted him. Maybe this is my fascination, Mags. Maybe maybe I'm wearing this because it look like it. Y'all don't know the name of that movie? Y'all don't watch TV. What's wrong with y'all? You should watch more. Watch the movies. Watch sci-fi, but don't watch the news on TV. Anyway, that's the end of it. Let's somebody give us a last deep comment so I can get out of here. It's a chest or it's a vacuum. I think it's a vacuum. Laugh, sing, love. Let's show the bastards we're ready to go down dancing. Exactly, Victoria. Ooh, Victoria Rob, you got the last comment. You gotta dance and sing, people. You gotta enjoy life. Bad things happen all the time, and the bad things are gonna keep coming. They're gonna keep coming no matter what you do. You have to be free. You are a god of a spiritual energy having a human experience. You are trapped in human monkey world in these monkey bodies. And number one, I don't know how that's not funny. How's that not funny? Like, we're like omnipotent creatures and gods, and Christ said greater things that I do, you gonna do. And we can walk on water, fly, move mountains, all this stuff, and eventually we're gonna do in the future. But we're like in 98% monkey bodies. So one, you gotta laugh. Two, you gotta dance, because monkeys dance. Monkeys dance and they play and they throw rocks and balls and stuff. But they don't get too boggled down with what's happening the next tribe of monkeys over. Don't get too bogged down with the bad stuff. Speak what's good. Understand that you really don't have anything to do with the creation of this little ignorant world. Help who you can, love who you can, show your light. Share positive energy. Susan says, vibe high, and things will go the way they're supposed to. But you can't have any fear. And when you do what Victoria's saying, when you're just living your life, and bad things around the corner, but you're not focused on those bad things, you're just living how you're supposed to be living, you lift other people up around you too. And when we all get lifted up, some amazing things gonna happen on this world. But if we're all negative, vibing, and fighting, and conflict, and whining, and crying, and stuff, nothing good is gonna happen. Bring up the positive energy. Thank you, Victoria, for our last words. And let the church say, amen. Or actually, it was Amun Ra, but don't tell the Christians I said that. Amun Ra. Gotta do your research. All right, this is Gerard. I gotta get going. Love y'all to death. I'm out of here.